Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Houston.
Live from Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas, Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight it's Game 2 of a 3-game series between the Astros and the first-place San Francisco Giants. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies. The Astros playing a lot of close games, in fact, 4 in a row, and just falling a little short again last night, JD.
Yeah, the starting pitching has been really, really good lately. The offense just hasn't been able to generate enough runs to make a difference. That was the case last night. Tonight, it's a couple of finesse left-handers going to the hill. The veteran Barry Zito, 10-8 with a 4.31 ERA. The Astros beat him back in June. Dallas Keuchel for the Astros, 1-6 with a 5.40, but his home ERA, a very respectable 3.18.
That's the matchup tonight as the Southpaws get ready. Jimmy Paredes and the Astros hoping to get some offense together against Zito and the Giants. It's coming up next.
Astros baseball on Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by Burger King. Come play family food where every game piece has a prize. And by Resident Evil, Retribution in 3D, in theaters September 14th. It's the Astros and the Giants, Game 2 of the 3-game series as the Astros bullpen men head toward their working spot. Dallas Keuchel takes his final tosses. Greg Lucas on the field. Let's go upstairs to Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies.
Thank you, Greg. Well, the Dodgers have won today, and the Giants can see that scoreboard with a 10-8 Dodger win over Colorado as they take the field tonight. They are currently 3 in front of Los Angeles, and Bruce Bochy comes out with his Hyundai starting lineup. Angel Pagan is the center fielder. He was a major factor in the win last night. It's Marco Scutaro at second base. Pablo Sandoval at third. Buster Posey, the catcher, is the cleanup man. Former Astro Hunter Pence is in right field batting fifth. Joaquin Arias gets the call at shortstop tonight. It's Brandon Belt at first base. Francisco Pagaro in left field. Barry Zito the pitcher.
On the bump for the Astros tonight, rookie left-hander Dallas Keuchel, 1-2 with a 3.18 here at Minute Maid Park in 6 starts, yielding just a 248 batting average. Overall, 1-6 with a 540.
He goes to work against Angel Pagan. Pagan in last night's game had a double, a homer, and a walk. He made a diving catch in left field. 291, 8 homers. He's driven in 49.
Yeah. Heck of a night. He's a switch hitter, and he's done a nice job from both sides of the plate this year.
Pagan taking all the way. Peruses that one for a strike, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count for Dallas Keuchel, shooting for win number 2 of the year. As JD mentioned, his ERA at home is very good, 3.18.
Now, last time out was in St. Louis. He allowed 6 runs, 5 earned in 4 innings. His 3 previous starts were all here at Minute Maid Park, and he recorded quality starts in all 3 of those games.
He had a 4-0 lead in that game in St. Louis, and that one got away. Turned into a 13-5 Cardinal rout.
We got a matchup here tonight of a couple of finesse left-handers, veteran Barry Zito, and of course the rookie Keuchel. Very important for both these guys to make sure they establish fastball on both sides of the plate. For Dallas, it's usually the cutter in on the hands of the right-handed hitter that'll open up the outside corner for him. He likes to do most of his work with sinkers and changeups away. He's got to be mindful of working in from time to time.
Brings a curve in for a ball. And now the count is full on Pagan, who is tied for the lead in the National League this month in extra base hits with 16. Has 9 doubles, 4 triples, and 3 homers this month. Keuchel gets a ground ball. Looks like an extra base hit into the left field corner. Pagan heads for second base. Then Francisco fishes it out, and there's a leadoff double, his 29th of the year.
This game is so much a game of percentages, and when you're in a position where you got the leadoff guy, a guy who could steal a base, you don't want to walk him. You go 3-2, so you're willing to throw the ball over the heart of the plate. And Keuchel did throw a fastball down, but over the fat part of the plate, and Pagan able to yank it down the third base line. And it's so important for guys like Keuchel to work from in front, and they have the hitters in a little bit of a defensive posture.
Marco Scutaro bats next. Scutaro, a good number 2 hitter. Has a 285 average, 6 homers, 49 runs batted in. And pushes a bunt up the first base line. That'll advance the runner. Keuchel throwing, and wow, he gets it to Wallace just in time. That was almost a first and third nobody out situation. Scutaro got the sacrifice down to move Pagan.
Yeah, see that again. This is a play that doesn't matter what Scutaro thinks, in my opinion, but I prefer this. He's trying for a base hit as opposed to just giving himself up here. He's trying to push a bunt to the right side to beat it out for a hit. Now, Barry Zito's working for the Giants tonight, and even though the Astros are undermanned, they don't score a lot of runs. Zito's got an ERA of 6 in August, so the idea of just giving yourself up to advance a base runner early makes no sense for me. But if you got some speed and you're a good bunter, you can get a base hit out of it. That makes all the sense in the world.
Infield in for Sandoval. He hits one foul into that upper deck facing.
Panda got into that one. Let's take a look at the Astros defensively tonight. It's brought to you by the Home Depot. You see Jimmy Paredes out there making his second start in right field after being called up from AAA. Good solid glove man at third and short. Altuve made a heck of a play last night. He's really been flashing the leather this year.
Up to Sandoval. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count to the switch hitting third baseman. He's 0 for his last 14. In his last 9 games, he's hit only 161 with 1 extra base hit, and that's after missing 18 games with a strained left hamstring. He hasn't homered for 90 at bats. That's out into left center field, and it's shallow, and that's going to dunk in for a hit to make it 1-0 Giants. Francisco couldn't get there, and that's a Sandoval RBI. He just flared it over shortstop, and the Giants draw first blood in this one.
Sandoval, one of those guys that hits pitches all over the place, up, down, in and out. And sometimes when you make a lot of contact, good things happen. This is weak contact, but he gets rewarded. A little soft flare. Kind of ironic. He crushed that curveball. And it just went for a measly strike, and then he hits that little flop shot, and he gets an RBI single.
Sandoval picked up his 43rd run batted in. Now he's aboard for Buster Posey. Posey looks at ball one. Posey has really been on fire here in the month of August. He's hitting .400 since the All-Star break. .327 for the season. 19 homers, 80 runs batted in. He's driven in 37 runs in 39 games since the break. Posey takes that one, and he also ranks in the top 10 in walks. He's ahead here 2-0. He's drawn 56 walks. That's the highest average in the majors since the break. Last night he was 1 for 4, a double in the 6th inning. Right side of the infield pretty well open.
Pretty legit MVP candidacy that Posey's got going.
It sure is. With what he provides as a catcher on this club, catching a good pitching staff and driving in runs, hitting cleanup. It's a strong MVP candidacy.
And, you know, a lot of times catchers fade in the second half because the rigors of catching, obviously, it has not affected Posey.
That's a good point. 3-1. He can get something of a break from catching. If Bruce Bochy wants to, he can move him to first base.
He does that from time to time, and I think, you know, certainly playing their home games in the cool climes of Northern California has to help too.
Fouls that one.
I like the willingness there by Keuchel to work inside, and it's been the MO of Chris Snyder. We've seen that with Chris back there when he's working with these young pitchers. He makes sure they do their work in.
This is the first time the Giants have faced Dallas Keuchel. His last start at home against Arizona was a good one. 6 innings and 2/3. He gave up 2 runs, but lost it 3-1. And Astros starting pitchers have fallen victim to that fate many times this year. And once again last night they got a good start. Bud Norris went 6 2/3. He gave up 1 earned run, got a no decision. Giants winning it 3-2 late. That's ball 4 to Posey. And now first and second, and the Giants hope for a big inning with Hunter Pence coming up.
That's Fernando Martinez in left field. Francisco was in the lineup.
Yes, he was.
Must have been a late scratch.
Must have been.
So late that we haven't heard anything on it.
No, scoreboards showing Francisco. The lineup sheets had Francisco, so that change was made without any announcement up here in the press box. Of course, the official lineup is the one that's handed in to the umpires at home plate. Hunter Pence with 18 homers, 75 runs batted in, has a .260 batting average. Former Astros hit .216 with the Giants. Hunter was 1 for 4 last night, a double to left center. That's ball 1 to Hunter. Giants really hoping for a Hunter Pence surge in the month of September, since they have lost Melky Cabrera to a 50-game suspension.
Maybe Ben's been traded to the Giants.
Well, the way things have been going around here.
Come out in the on-deck circle in a Giant uniform, we'll know what's going on.
Yeah. Steve Pearce was traded to the Yankees, and he hit cleanup last night for them.
Oh, it's going to mess up our lineup, Carl. Well, wait, you're going to hear an explosion from 2 booths down here in a minute when Milo catches wind of this. There's going to be an eruption.
2 balls and a strike. Mount Milo will be going off. Sandoval the runner at second, and Posey at first.
Maybe they got the memo over there.
Maybe so. It's been pretty quiet. Cincinnati won today 6-2 at Arizona. Matt Latos going to 11-4. Beat Patrick Corbin. That's a high drive. Hunter Pence is watching this one fly to left center field. A 3-run homer for Hunter Pence. Number 19 of the season for Pence. That gives him 78 runs batted in, and it's a 4-0 Giant lead.
Hunter's not done a whole lot since joining the Giants, but he's had some meaningful hits. He hasn't hit for much average or power, but he's had some important hits and some big plays in the field. And that was a Hunter Pence big fly there.
It's his second home run for them, 103 at bats, and here it is. Now working room for Barry Zito. He hit that one high. And Arias takes ball one. Joaquin came up with a big pinch hit last night. That was an RBI double in the 9th inning to tie the game, and then he scored the eventual game winner later on a pinch single by Hector Sanchez. The home run was the 10th allowed by Dallas Keuchel in 62 innings. 282 for Arias, 3 homers, 27 runs batted in. He has hit lefties well. Soft one, and Brett Wallace over to foul territory, taking care of out number 2.
Breaking ball from Dallas Keuchel on the plate, up just a little bit. Pence very dangerous. He's vulnerable to breaking balls from right-handed pitchers moving out away from him. He really struggles with that pitch, but the lefty breaking ball that stays on the plate, that's a pitch we've seen him hammer a lot over the years.
Now Brandon Belt, a 264 hitter with 4 homers. He's driven in 39. He's hit 3 homers against Astros pitching. That's strike 1 to Belt from Nacogdoches, Texas, just up the road. Belt was 1 for 4 in last night's game. He started that 9th inning rally with a hit off Wesley Wright. It's no balls, 2 strikes. So lefties really have not slowed down Brandon Belt. That's close, but Paul Schreiber calls it a ball, and it's 1-2. Giants have won 15 of their last 20 road games. That's in for a strike. He's caught looking to end the 4-run Giant first on 3 hits with nobody left. Giants 4, Astros coming up. Have trained a camera on the lineup card in the Astros dugout, so we're reasonably sure this is in fact the starting lineup we're going to show you, brought to you by Hyundai. And Tony DeFrancesco had made a change at some point As you see, the number 4 hitter was scratched out, and also number 5. So here it is from Hyundai: Jose Altuve, Tyler Green, Brett Wallace, Jimmy Paredes, Fernando Martinez, Chris Snyder, Marwin Gonzalez, Brandon Barnes, and Dallas Keuchel.
And the veteran left-hander Barry Zito works for Bruce Bochy's Giants here tonight. And Barry's made 25 starts. He's 10-8. The most wins he's ever had in a Giant uniform is 11. He's got an ERA of 4.31. And he's enjoyed very good run support. And boom, there he goes. He's got a 4-run lead as he takes the mound in the bottom half of the first inning. Got off to a great start. Had a 1-something ERA in April. In fact, to a shutout, I think, his first game this year at Coors Field.
At Colorado, you're right. Complete game shutout. How about that for starting the season?
It's like a decade between shutouts for him.
Altuve shortening up, and he takes ball 1. 298, 5 homers, 33 runs batted in for Jose, 142 hits, tying him for 8th in the National League. He was 0 for 5 last night.
Very not a hard thrower at all. Average velocity on his fastball about 84 miles an hour. Big curveball, slider, and a changeup.
He deals a strike, and it's 2-1. When he lost to the Astros June 14th in San Francisco, he gave up 5 hits and 5 runs in 5 innings. He walked 3, gave up home runs to Matt Downs and J.D. Martinez. Martinez hit a grand slam after 3 walks. It's a high strike call, and it's 2-2. Zito's 3-3 in his career against the Astros. Altuve hitting lefties very well at .341. But by and large, other than Altuve, the Astros right-handed hitters have not done much damage against left-handed pitching this year.
The Astros a major league worst, 2-11 against left-handed pitching this year.
Altuve lays off that one.
Most of the hitters will come into this game against Zito with the mindset of, hey, stay back, be patient. You know, he looks like a guy you should be able to handle, but that's what his MO is. He tries to get you to get out of the zone to chase his pitches off the plate.
Fly ball left. Peguero. 1 out. And Tyler Green will follow.
Hey, here are the Giants defensively. Peguero up from AAA, making his 2nd career start. He's got a real big arm. Pagan in center and Pence in right give the Giants good coverage out there. Sandoval, Arias, Scutaro, and Belt on the infield. And Buster Posey is behind the plate.
Tyler Green is at the plate. Green last night was 0 for 3 with a walk. He was robbed by Pagan on a diving catch in left center field last night. There's strike 1 to Tyler. 224, 7 homers, 24 runs batted in. He's gone deep 3 times as an Astro. 53 at bats. Gets underneath this one over to right center field. Caught by Pagan for out number 2 for Zito.
Tony DeFrancesco had Craig Biggio address the club today in a clubhouse meeting prior to BP. So Biggio's reputation's on the line here.
Brett Wallace at 292 has 6 homers, 12 runs batted in. Wallace had a good night last night with 3 hits. His last 3 times up, going 3 for 4. That was his 9th career 3-hit game, tied his major league high.
Astros as a club had just 6 hits in the ball game last night. Wallace hit the ball hard all 3 times, including a double up on Tal's Hill.
He's hitting .386 in this ballpark in 44 at bats. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brett's still looking for his first home run here at Minute Maid Park this year. Zito had surrendered 18 long balls in 147 innings. Barry, 34 years old, first round pick of Oakland in '99. Big curveball gives him a 1-2 count. Zito was born in Las Vegas. It's 1-2. Zito went to Southern Cal. Smack to left center field. Pagan moving for it, and that hits the slot, bounces off the bullpen fence. Wallace in with a 2-out double, his 7th.
Look at Wally. It's Wally's world these days.
It is. 4 consecutive hits.
And some really nice at-bats on the road trip. Wasn't always rewarded with hits, but good solid approach at the plate lately for Wallace. Fooled by that first curveball. This is a slider that stays up, and he just rides it out there, one hopping the wall in front of the Giant bullpen.
The Astros are on the board with a hit. Now it's Jimmy Paredes trying to build on that. Jimmy made his Astros debut last night. He was 0 for 3.
2 or 3 guys in the Giant rotation that if you were to fall behind 4-0 in the first inning, you'd say, well, time to eat some popcorn and hang out and do the crossword puzzle. But Zito, a guy you feel like you should be able to get to.
Paredes takes that pitch, and it's ball 1 to Jimmy. Jimmy 0 for 3 last night, but he walked and scored a run in the 8th inning when the Astros took a 2-1 lead. Giants have the 5th best ERA in the National League. In the air, and the second Sacker moves for it. Scudero. And it's no runs a hit and a man left. 4-0 Giants after 1.
And holy Toledo this Sunday is Milo Hamilton Day at Minute Maid Park. 10,000 fans will receive a Milo Hamilton bobblehead courtesy of Johnny Go Honda. The bobblehead commemorates Milo Hamilton's illustrious 27th season as the Astros radio broadcaster. Root now and buy tickets for Milo Hamilton Day at Astros.com or by calling 1-877-9-ASTROS. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. There's ball 1 from Dallas Keuchel. Inning number 2 getting underway with a 4-0 Giant lead. Francisco Pagaro.
That is a Giant lead.
Ben Francisco was a late scratch from the lineup with discomfort in his right wrist. We're just getting information on that now. That's why the lineup change was made. Foul back, and Pagaro is known for his speed. Has a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Pagaro came into the game last night. 2-pinch run and play the outfield.
Hit 272 down at AAA for the Giants at Fresno with 5 home runs. Considered one of their top prospects.
He took the spot of Justin Christian in the outfield. 24 years old. He is ranked as the guy with the best outfield arm in the Giants system, according to Baseball America. Their 5th best prospect, as JD mentioned, ranked high. Bouncer Keuchel. Pagaro's running hard. He's still out. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game. It's brought to you by Miller Lite. One down, and Barry Zito is the batter. Barry with 3 hits and 39 at bats. Has an .077 average, and he's driven in a couple. Angel Pagan will be coming up next. Matt Cain pitched another solid game last night. Got a no decision, going 7 1/3, giving up 2 runs. His 3rd straight fine start against the Astros this year. Zito looks at strike 1. The Giants have won 6 of 7 from the Astros. They go to Chicago next. Zito takes. There's a strike, and it's 0-2. His skipper in Oakland, Art Howe, working pre and post game shows for us tonight. 1-2. That was quite a year Zito had for the A's in 02, going 23-5, winning the Cy Young Award with a 2.75 ERA. That's there for strike 3. Second strikeout for Keuchel.
Well, rough first inning usually leads to a good second inning because you start down at the bottom of the order. And so far, he's gotten 2 quick outs. Sometimes that's what you need, just a chance to go out and get some outs, find that release point, settle in a little bit, and then just hope to hang in there, get through the middle innings, give your team a chance to come back.
Strike 1 to Pagan. Pagan doubled and scored in the first. Pagan has 9 triples this year. That's 3 away from the Giant club record for triples in a season in San Francisco. Steve Finley and Willie Mays are the co-leaders. No balls, 2 strikes. Pagan almost had a triple last night, but then upon review, the ball bounced out of play down the right field line.
Having a hard time picturing Steve Finley in a Giant uniform.
Yeah, briefly. I think he was in 04 for sure. I don't know how many more years. Just pump back into the crowd. He did move around, didn't he, later on in his career?
Yeah. Wow, that was in 2006.
Okay.
He was 41 years old. He's got the club record in triples at the age of 41.
How about that? He was with the Dodgers before that, right? I guess he was with the Dodgers.
05, he was a Dodger.
Okay.
Arizona. He covered that whole National League West pretty well.
San Diego.
D-back, and he did. He finished with the Rockies. He played for every club in that division. Way to go, Finn.
Yeah.
Boy, what a career he had.
Well, the Astros got him in that trade with Baltimore, the Glenn Davis trade, early in his career. He was a good player, but he really blossomed after he left Houston. That's a strikeout looking. Keuchel has a 1-2-3 second. That's his 3rd strikeout, and it's 4-0 Giants. The starter last night, he pitched well, had to leave with a blister, but after last night's start, allowing 1 earned run, Bud Norris has a 2.09 home ERA, and that is the lowest among National League starters. As JD said, he just needs to rearrange the schedule so he can get more home starts. He's had more road starts.
Well, he's made 24 starts, and I think that was his 9th home start.
Yep, you're right. Now Fernando Martinez is the batter. Strike one. He was inserted into the lineup when Ben Francisco was scratched with the right wrist problem. 182 for Fernando. 2 homers, 6 runs batted in. Normally he wouldn't be in there against the lefty. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fernando was saying today that his first year in professional baseball he was a center fielder, but after that moved to the corner spots. One of the top prospects coming through the Mets system. He cracks this one to center field, backing up Pagan. Backpedaling onto the track, 1 out.
Fernando definitely has tools, and the question is he going to be able to figure out how to use those tools? He got a lot of power, still runs pretty well, has a good arm.
Chris Snyder has very good numbers against Barry Zito. 8 hits and 18 at bats with 6 runs batted in. 190 for Chris, 7 homers, 23 runs batted in. Jason Castro did the catching last night, and he batted cleanup against Matt Cain. Snyder batting in the number 6 spot. And the catchers are being elevated in the lineup in recent days. There's ball 1 to him with Marwin Gonzalez on deck. Giants have won 16 of their last 24 to get to 72 and 57 for the season. Zito deals a strike. That makes him 1-1. Since 2000, the club currently managed by Bruce Bochy is 58 and 31 against the Astros. This year it's been tough sledding for the Houston offense. 16 runs in 7 games against Giant pitching.
Snyder had a pretty good whack at a hanging fastball right there.
18th season as a manager, and with the Astros as a catcher at 239. He was Alan Ashby's backup catcher. 2-time manager of the year. This is his 6th year with the Giants. He now is atop the list for consecutive years managed among all those active skippers now that Tony La Russa has retired. And he trails Jim Leyland and Dusty Baker for wins on the active managerial list. Ripped on a line into left field. Past the diving third baseman Sandoval. Snyder heads for second. Here's a throw from Peguero. It is close, but he's in there. That's his 8th double.
A good hustle out of the box here by Snyder. That's what allowed him to get to second base on this one. Sharply hit. Pretty well played out there by Peguero. Snyder not a speedy guy, but hustling all the way. Able to get into scoring position. And his success against Zito continues.
Sure does. 2 doubles for the Astros in the game. Marwin Gonzalez bats next. Zito delivers, and it's strike 1 to Gonzalez. 235 for Marwin, 2 homers, 12 runs batted in. He went 2 for 12 on the road trip. He was 1 for 4 in last night's game. Switch hitters hitting 122 as a right-handed batter. 6 for 49 with 1 RBI from this side of the plate. Astros had the team picture taken today before batting practice. As JD mentioned, Craig Biggio spoke to the team, so the clubhouse was closed for a few minutes. No balls, 2 strikes. Jed Lowry said today in the Astros clubhouse he's still very hopeful of playing in September. Doing more and more drills. He's taking some ground balls, so the mobility is returning to that right knee area.
Yeah, I'm sure the Astros would like to get him back in action, but really important for Jed to get back out there and show the Astros and the entire baseball world that he's healthy and ready to go, and make his offseason a lot better too if he can just get a few games under his belt.
Sure would.
So really unfortunate. He was having a very nice year.
Boy. Yeah, at one point he looked like he was on an all-star track. Club leader in homers.
Still,
yeah, with 14.
Look out.
Still no balls, 2 strikes. But yeah, you know, you get to this stage of the season, JD, and the stories change a little bit for some guys. And for a player like Jed Lowry, it's important to get back. He said that he doesn't really need a timetable because he's working as hard as he possibly can to get back, and he's reasonably sure he's going to get back and play some before the end of the year. 1 ball and 2 strikes, but it's hard to put a timetable on that. He had some nerve complications with that injury. He was taking a throw at second base, and the base runner slid in and stepped on his foot. He kind of twisted at the knee, and that caused some nerve problems. So that is not an injury that's been very common, and it's hard to put some kind of a timetable on that return. Flared on the right side. Belt is backing. He gives way, and Scudero's there. 2 outs. And Brandon Barnes will try to drive in Snyder from second. Brandon at 167 has a homer. He's driven in 4. He was the center fielder in last night's game, and he went 0 for 4. Tony DeFrancesco said he probably will not be welcoming any of the players from AAA Oklahoma City until after their season ends. They're still not eliminated from a playoff spot, and they're playing the first place club Albuquerque right now in a 4-game series. They won the first game of that series last night, so there's a chance the Red Hawks could make the playoffs. There's ball 1 to Barnes. Last night Oklahoma City won at 6-5 over Albuquerque with a 5-run 7th, and they broke up a perfect game bid by Albuquerque starter John Eli to win that game. 2 balls, no strikes. Matt Downs hit a 3-run homer. Matt Dominguez hit a long ball, a 2-run shot. And they're playing again tonight. That's a shot into center field. Snyder will turn third, come to the plate. Here's Pagan's throw home. Posey tries to get back for the tag on a sliding Snyder, and he's safe. Snyder took the left arm away and then got back in through the back door to make it 4-1 Giants.
Chris Snyder playing the speed game, legging out the double, and then scoring from second base on the line drive single to center. Plenty on the throw from Pagan, just up the line a little bit, and the big fella comes in the back door. Zito's hanging that changeup, and the Astros are hitting it hard. And that throw's on the line. Snyder's out, and Posey perhaps is in a coma because he would have taken a hit from the big guy. Very nice athletic play here by Snyder. He sees where Posey's going to get the ball. Evasive action, and it slaps home plate.
How sweet was that? Now Dallas Keuchel takes strike 1. Keuchel at 071 has 1 hit and 14 at bats. He has 1 RBI. Barnes winding up at second on that throw to the plate by Pagan. Did you see the collision last night in the Pirate Cardinal game with Yadier Molina?
I did not. I heard, and he's not in the lineup today.
Okay. Yeah, he was quite banged up. And Snyder in a different sort of play at the plate, avoiding the lunging tag of Posey. It was quite interesting. Josh Harrison blasted into Molina. He had very little choice because Molina had moved squarely into his path at home plate and was blocking the plate. And then Harrison got drilled by a pitch his next time up. And this is something that really rankles me, JD. Here's a guy who's playing the game, the way players are taught. The catcher's in your way. You knock him over. Why do you have to get drilled by a pitch when you come up?
Because some players are stupid.
Boy, that's ridiculous.
Some players don't have a feel for the game at all. And they're going to say, well, I'm going to be a good teammate and drill the guy because he hit my catcher. Especially a guy with Matheny's probably like, what are you doing, man? He's a catcher. We get hit. That's what happens to us.
4-1 Giants. Contestants from the over 300 applicants for the You Make the Call Radio Apprentice Contest. The 4 finalists are Crawford Jones, the UH quarterback, Nate Courant, the USF football PA announcer from Florida, Jake Atkinson, the recent grad from Texas A&M, and Alex Del Barrio, the PA announcer for the Harlem Globetrotters. You can come out to Minute Maid Park, support the Astros, and take a look at those finalists as they perform on the radio during this homestand.
PA announcer for the Globetrotters. That's a good gig.
Oh, you know it. Alex Del Barrio.
You get to say things like, whoa, what's in that bucket? He's going to throw water. Oh, it's confetti.
And Crawford Jones will be out here, we understand, on Sunday, and that's right after the Cougars game on Saturday. So, best of luck to all. Marco Scudero put down that sac bunt in the first inning. Each club with 3 hits, no errors, but the Giants got the big 3-run homer from Hunter Pence. There's strike one in there, 4-run first. We got a list of Astros players, at least some, who will be going to the Arizona Fall League right before the game tonight. It's a prestigious development process for players. And let's see, we have Jared Cosart, who will be pitching for the Mesa Solar Sox. Alex Sogard, a left-hander Corpus Christi, will be on that roster. Bobby Borchering, Giovanni Meyer, George Springer, and Jonathan Singleton. Popped up. Snyder off with a mask. And that's out number 1. So, you know, those of you who like to follow baseball year-round, this will be played in, I think, maybe late October, but mostly November. And, J.D., that's a list of a lot of the Astros' top prospects.
Yeah, and that's usually what you see in the Arizona Fall League. It's guys that each organization has identified as premier prospects. Borchering, one of the players that came over in the Chris Johnson deal for the D-backs. Lowe, the pitcher, I haven't seen his name all year. He was hurt. The Astros were really high on him a couple seasons ago.
Mm-hmm. Now Sandoval takes their strike one. He singled in a run in the first. The roller goes out to short, cut off by the third sacker, and Marlon Gonzalez takes care of out number 2. Good range at third for Marwin. He's a shortstop playing third.
Yeah, you know, defensively, I think Marwin might be the Astros' best third baseman, best shortstop, best second baseman. I mean, he's that good defensively.
He really is. Very smooth. Buster Posey walked right ahead of Hunter Pence's 3-run homer in the first inning. Cardinals might have fired up the Pirates last night. Pittsburgh leads 4-0, bottom of the 5th now. Pedro Alvarez has hit another homer. Brett Wallace up the right field line, and Altuve makes the catch. Jimmy Paredes is over in foul territory, and that's out number 3, and it's 4-1 Giants.
Making cancer history. It was in 1995 when Tony Eusebio had a 13th inning home run as the difference as the Astros stopped an 11-game losing streak, beating the Braves 11-9. Greg Swindell got his 100th career win in relief. It was also on this date in '65 that Willie Mays broke a record for most home runs in the month of April when he hit his 17th against the Mets. The irony was the record he broke was set by Ralph Kiner, who was calling the game for the Mets. That'd be like somebody striking out 9 straight first hitters and JD's in the booth.
Hey, Zito's going after my most at-bats without an extra base hit record.
Well, there you go.
What does he have, JD?
Well, how many? Got one tonight, 295.
Nice. Jose Altuve hit a fly ball caught by the left fielder. There's strike.
He's got to go a ways, yeah.
Here's a stat on Zito and his career when he receives at least 4 runs of support. He's 121-7. Line shot into center field. Altuve out of the box after a sharp single back through the box.
Probably with a bunch of no decisions, though, too, in that mix. Yeah. Because, you know, when you get a big, comfortable lead like this, if you let it start to slip away, a lot of times they'll get you out of there before you're in position to lose the game.
Yeah, about 30 no decisions, in fact. That's that line drive into center. Now Tyler Green and the Astros are going to need to string some things together here. Green hit a fly ball to center in the first inning.
Well, Dallas Keuchel has done his piece after getting knocked around in the first. He's retired 8 in a row.
Green takes a look at it, and Tyler is ahead in the count, 1-0. Pirates lead the Cardinals 4-0 there in the bottom of the 5th in Pittsburgh, with Wandy Rodriguez holding that lead over Joe Kelly. Pedro Alvarez hit a 3-run homer off Kelly, his 26th of the year. He hit a couple last night. One of them, I think, wound its way into the river.
Yeah, he's a beast. He had a big night. I think he was 4 for 4 last night.
Runner going, and there's a flare over first base. It'll go foul. It's a 1-1 count to Green. So the Cardinals trail the Reds coming into today by 7. Pittsburgh is 9 back.
Nationals have lost 5 in a row, but they're winning tonight 5-1 over Miami as we look at the National League wild card. Atlanta, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Los Angeles, all right there in the mix.
That's why that Pittsburgh-St. Louis game is big tonight. Dodgers winning 10-8 at Colorado with Joe Blanton getting that win, beating Drew Pomeranz. Belisario getting a save. Matt Kemp pancaked himself into the center field wall trying to catch a ball last night.
Zito with a quick move here.
Altuve with 26 steals and 33 tries, drawing some attention. Another throw. This
is
one
kind
low.
of a funky move. He's not stepping off the back of the rubber. That's what Dan Radisson's arguing. So doesn't he have to clear the rubber there before he throws to first base? I've never seen that.
Stepping in front of it, yeah. Tony D is out to argue the point as well with Mike Everett. Okay, usually it's a step back off the rubber, but he's stepping in front of the rubber.
I'm going to get out the rule book and peruse the Bach rule again. I've never seen that. You see a pitcher step off the back of the rubber and flip it over there to first, but this is what he's done both times.
Yeah, we need to look at that, but my guess is he'll just say step off. Doesn't say step off the back or front. But yeah, you're right. It just looks weird because we haven't seen pitchers do that.
It's going to have to be a point of emphasis. Tighten up that Bach rule.
Let's form a committee.
Yeah, that usually gets things done.
2 balls and a strike.
Take a little focus group. What percentage of you think this is a balk? Show of hands.
Baseball rules are so convoluted sometimes. Now more conventional. Step and throw.
Leave it to Barry to come up with something different. He's a Zen master, very creative guy, talented musician, into yoga. And to his credit, boy, with all of the struggles he's had in San Francisco, he's continued, from what I've been told, to work very, very hard at his craft to try to figure things out.
Runner going, swing and a miss. Posey with a 1-hop throw, safe at second. Pitch was strike 2 to Green. That's a 27th steal for Altuve.
Green swings through the high fastball, but Altuve beats the 1-hop throw.
Well, the Astros have been out-homered by their opponents, 152 to 109. Well, they do what they can when they're behind in a game like this to advance. They really cannot rely on the 3-run bomb the way the Giants got one from Pence in the first inning.
Yeah, because normally that would be the standard operating procedure against Zito. You wouldn't take that many chances on the bases. You would just trust your guys to be able to put some hits together. Maybe someone knock one out of the ballpark, but Tony D doesn't really have those kinds of hitters.
Still 3-2 to Tyler Green. Here's the rule. We're going to have to read this a little further. It's too convoluted to read on the air. We'll check it between innings. Reading the rule book is perilous at best.
It could be a new segment. And now, reading the rule book with Bill Brown. A pitcher must come to a complete stop
What was it on Saturday
Deep
night?
Thoughts.
Deep Thoughts.
Jack Handy.
Jack Handy, yeah.
And now
Jack Handy.
Deep inside the rule book.
That will fit. We'll be doing that next year. Three balls, 2 strikes to Green. He stays alive with Brett Wallace waiting to hit next. Green, a 138 career hitter against the Giants, 0 for 3 in his career against Zito. We will not be televising tomorrow night's game. We have DirecTV. I don't know how that works, but the Giants are probably, their Giants are televising tomorrow night. So perhaps you can get their telecast or listen to Astros radio. They do every game, every pitch. And we'll be back Friday night when the Reds are here. And they might be starting Joey Votto in that game, JD. Brett Dolan on the left, Paul Matheny upstairs, Milo Hamilton on the right behind the blue star.
Could Joey Votto crack that lineup? Can't get Frazier out of there.
Maybe not. Frazier's looking like the rookie of the year. Line shot to left. Peguero can't make the catch. He'll throw into second on the single by Green. And it's first and third, nobody out. A promising start in the Astros' third inning.
Here come the Astros, breathing orange fire. Good battle here by Tyler Green. Fights off this cutting fastball. Zito trying to tie him up, but Tyler able to get enough of the barrel on it.
Well, that's a play that ideally the left fielder makes if you're a Giant, but Peguero, brand new to the major leagues, and sometimes it's difficult to know how to play a ball like that. Brett Wallace doubled to left center field in the first inning. Tony DeFrancesco said the Astros want to keep Jimmy Paredes in right field in this ballpark because of that left field wall. And on the road he'll probably play some left, but not at home because of the angles required of a left fielder. They're different in this ballpark compared to any other. Paredes on deck. Wallace hoping to keep the line moving here with 2 singles to open the inning. It's 1-1. The Astros in the first 7 games against the Giants hit 156. Tonight much better with 5 hits in the early going.
Zito kind of looks like Ashton Kutcher, don't you think?
A little bit. 1-2. There's 34, but he's a young looking 34. Signed a 7-year free agent deal when he joined the Giants before the 07 season. He has had his struggles along the way. Ground ball, and that will get by Scudero to score a run to make it 4-2. And here is a first to third dash by Tyler Green. Third straight hit. Wallace picks up RBI number 13, scoring Altuve. And he was on the curveball.
They're getting the pitching coach out to have a chat with Barry Zito as we watch Brett Wallace pound this one through the infield beyond the reach of Scudero. Nice job here by these Astro hitters, just showing some good patience. There's a chance we could be here a while tonight.
You said that before the game, too. Good call. Jimmy Paredes popped to second in the first inning. And Jimmy got some major league seasoning last year, so he perhaps feels a little bit more comfortable returning for the second time to the big leagues. Jimmy just 23 years old. To left field, Peguero ready to make a throw to second. And the run comes in to make it 4-3. Sacrifice fly by Peretta, scoring Green. Wallace holding at first base. And the Astros have scored a couple here in the third. Now trailing by 1 with Martinez coming up.
Reddy's wasting no time jumping on that first pitch. Looks like a high slider from Zito. And just like that, we've got a 1-run game. Still just 1 out in the inning.
Has to be encouraging to Dallas Keuchel over there on the Houston bench. And it's Martinez who hit a fly ball to center earlier. Looking at ball 1. With Ben Francisco being scratched from the lineup for this game with a right wrist problem. George Contos now warming up in the bullpen. Justin Maxwell has been banged up with an index finger bruise. Bouncer into right field. Wallace had to wait for the ball to clear. He gets to second base. And that's the 4th hit of the inning as Martinez chimes in. That leaves the Astros with some left on left situations, but Martinez comes through against the lefty Zito.
Tomahawks his ball. Kind of.
4 singles in the inning and 7 hits in the game. Chris Snyder ripped a double to left in the second inning, and then he scored. And if the Astros win by 1, we'll have to go back and replay that run that Snyder scored in the second. He avoided the tag by pulling the left arm back and waiting for the catcher Posey to lunge at him and then stab to the plate.
Bochy does not want to let Chris Snyder have a swing at Zito here with the numbers he's put up against Barry in his career. It's too much at stake for the Giants this late in the season. Start to manage a little bit differently when you get down to the final month or so.
So Contos, the right-hander, is called in. Zito leaving with a 4-3 Giant lead. Back in the
Gold Star uniforms return to the playing field Friday, August 31st as the Astros take on the Cincinnati Reds for another Flashback Friday presented by the Methodist Hospital System. Astros great Shane Reynolds will toss out the ceremonial first pitch, and fans can enjoy Friday night fireworks presented by Marathon Oil Corporation. Root now and buy your tickets at Astros.com. Bill?
Well, Patty, this is one of the Astros' best performances of the season against a left-handed starter. They've shelled Barry Zito, gotten him out of the game, but the Giants still lead at 4-3 here in the third inning. As Astros fans are watching George Contos warm up, at least some of them are watching. And in 31 games, he has no decisions, but an ERA of 2.25.
No, I think the whole key here is the fact that the Giants have the lead. If Barry Zito had come out and got knocked around early, was trailing 4 or 5-1, he may still be in this game. But Bruce Bochy is going to take every opportunity he gets to get a win. and he's willing to ask for a lot from his bullpen on a night like tonight. There are nights when you're getting lit up and you figure, I'll just, we'll suffer through this one. We'll take our lumps and we'll save our guys for tomorrow. But he put 4 runs on the board early. Probably feels like they got a chance to score more off of Dallas. So he's going to bring Cantos out of that pen and really lean heavily on the bullpen here this evening. This is a fastball slider guy, and Cantos really leans heavily on his hard downward breaking slider.
Snyder doubled to left and scored in the second. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Slider for ball 1. This is the first time the Astros have seen Cantos this year. His last appearance was 3 days ago against the Braves. He went an inning and 2/3, giving up 1 hit, no runs. He's from Lincolnwood, Illinois. Went to Northwestern University. 27 years old. He was with the Yankees briefly last year. Most of the time at AAA Scranton. It's 2 balls, no strikes. He had Tommy John surgery in 2009, and he returned very quickly from that in 10 months. 5th round pick of the Yankees in 2006. Then San Diego tabbed him as a Rule 5 draft choice in December of 2010. Traded him to the Giants this April for catcher Chris Stewart.
Hitters count. See if he gets a heater here.
He took it.
He got a heater, but Cantos didn't want to give in. Tried to clip that outside corner.
Now 3-0.
Turn him loose.
I was just going to ask you.
Why not? Why not?
Makes every sense, doesn't it?
Well, Marwin's better from the left side.
True.
If they were lefty on the mound, I'd definitely turn him loose here. He was taken all the way.
3-1 now.
See, because there's no guarantee you're going to get that one again.
No. Jay Happ and Toronto beat the Yankees today 8-5. Jay gave up 4 runs in 5 innings, but he beat CC Sabathia.
4 runs in 5 innings against that club. You could almost defend that as a good start.
True.
Nasty 3-1 slide.
Oh boy. Now 3-2, and now 1 out, runners at first and second. We'll see what's going on with them. Probably not going.
Backup slider stays on the plate. My hunch is going to come slider off the plate here. Try to get Chris to chase.
I would not be moving the runners on this pitch.
Yeah, it's a tough call because the ground ball is a double play ball with Chris, but you got the potential of a swing and a miss double play.
Fly ball goes to center field. Wallace tagging. Hunter Pence with the catch. Wallace is just going to hold right there. 2 down. And it's Marwin Gonzalez.
Marwin from the left side. Much better hitter.
He popped up against Zito, batting right-handed in the second inning. But he's a .272 left-handed hitter. Steve Pearce batted cleanup for the Yankees last night. Mark Teixeira's hurt right now. A-Rod's still out. He's been out for weeks and weeks and weeks. So the Yankees putting the former Astro to immediate use. Marwin takes, and it's ball 1.
And maybe the biggest change in payroll one player's ever, from one club's payroll to another club, going from this version of the Astros to the Yankees.
It could be.
I mean, if I'm Steve Pearce, I walk into that clubhouse and, boys, time for you to buy me some dinner.
Marwin takes. That's a strike. 1-1 to Gonzalez.
The latest charge the Yankees have had to deal with coming from Baltimore. They've won 4 in a row, while the Rays have dropped 4 in a row.
Don't you know Buck Showalter would love to cost the Yankees some fits? Oh, that was not a good cut by Marwin. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Woo. Red Wallace back into second.
Good heads-up play there by Posey. You get a swing and a miss. You got a base runner with 2 outs who's looking to get a good secondary lead so he can score on a single. So when you get the swing and miss as a catcher, you should be taking a peek at that base runner. Posey actually a little late seeing him, but still took a shot.
Baltimore is getting trounced at home tonight. The White Sox are beating them 8-1 in the 7th inning. Swing at a pitch in the dirt. Struck him out, and Posey completes the strikeout by throwing to Bell. And the Astros make it a 1-run lead. Coming up with a single by Altuve. Another hit by Tyler Green. And then Brett Wallace chimes in with an RBI hit. Paredes a sacrifice fly. It's 4-3 Giants after 3. We are joined here in the booth by Jeremy Monty, and he is the chairman of the board of the Astros in Action Foundation. Nice to meet you, sir.
Yeah, nice to meet you, too.
We have a big event coming up here. Is it going to be here at Minute Maid Park in October?
It will be. It's going to be on the field here at Minute Maid Park, October 16th. We are celebrating Milo Hamilton.
Well, what a great career he's had, and that's an opportunity for a lot of folks not only to join in that celebration for his long and illustrious Hall of Fame career, but also to help a charity.
Absolutely. The proceeds go to the Astros in Action Foundation. And, you know, that's important because a lot of people know about Milo's long broadcasting career, storied career, but a lot of people don't know that he's made charitable contributions throughout Houston area and been recognized for it over the years. So we're really, really proud to be recipients of this really important event.
Boy, he has stepped up anytime anybody calls for a charitable event. He's been there to MC it or whatever.
Right. Yeah, I think over the course of the years, he's raised over $35 million for various charities in and around Houston. So we're really hoping that this is going to be a big one. But even more important than the money, we want to pack this field with people here to celebrate Milo. We've got friends, family, MLB stars from throughout the ages, not just Astros, but all over the place.
Yeah. That was quite a list of players we saw up there a few minutes ago. So, yeah, if you want to rub elbows with some of the greats, that's the night to do it right here at Minute Maid Park.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really fun having the likes of Hank Aaron out here talking about
Hunter Pence with a deep drive to right. Jimmy Paredes at the wall. Jimmy Paredes with a catch.
Piece of cake, this move to the outfield. Nothing to it.
Hunter Pence blasted the 3-run homer earlier. This time a bid for extra bases denied.
Yeah, Pence drives his fastball away to right field, and Paredes, who plays deep, I think he's more comfortable starting from a deeper position. That certainly pays off here, and he's such a good athlete. He's going to be able to cover a lot of ground out there. The question, well, the thing he's going to have to tighten up are some of the routes he takes, but a fine play there.
And now it's Joaquin Arias, so that was an exciting moment. We'll see plenty on that night you're talking about in October. You said the 16th, Jeremy?
That's right, October 16th. It starts at 6:30, and the tickets range. There's sponsorships starting at $5,000, but really more than those big sponsorships, we're looking for individual tickets far and wide. We really want this to be a nationwide event because, of course, Milo's voice has touched people from across the country.
It really has. Billy Doran's coming in. It'll be great to see him. Bill Garner, of course, everybody's favorite. Greg Biggio, a lot of big names there. And Hank Aaron, that's nice that he will come in for this.
Absolutely. You know, people remember Milo's call of the 715th home run, and I'm sure we're going to celebrate that a little bit.
You bet. That's in the air to center field. Barnes coming in.
Maybe we can get Milo and Hank to reenact that.
That would be
better to run around the bases.
Yeah.
Sitting on 714,
yeah.
You know, I can go through it right now.
Yeah, you've heard that a few times.
That's right. That's right. You know, and that list I think we're going to add to it a little bit also as we get closer. We've got, you know, he's called a lot of great games. Of course, people in Houston know Phil Garner, scrap iron from here, but you know, Milo called that We Are Family World Series team in Pittsburgh and deemed Phil scrap iron. So
yeah, he certainly did. That's a 1-2-3 inning. Thanks so much for joining us, Jeremy.
Absolutely, it was a real pleasure. Thank you for having me, and I hope everybody can come out on October 16th.
See you October 16th.
Good luck with that.
Thank you.
4-3 Giants.
Brought to you by Jack in the Box. Get the All-American Jack Combo for only $4.99 plus tax at participating stores. By the all-new Mazda CX-5 with 35 highway miles per gallon. And by Mattress Firm. Save money, sleep happy. Got a ball game going here. It's a 4-3 score. The Astros need a run to tie. Barnes, Keuchel, and Altuve coming up. Here again is Bill Brown.
Thank you, Greg. The Astros did make that rally after falling behind 4-0 after a half inning, getting one in the second, two in the third, putting 6 hits together in those 2 innings combined. Brandon Barnes a part of that with his RBI single, scoring Chris Snyder for the first run. George Cantos stealing ball 1. There's Zito in 2 1/3 innings, allowing 7 hits, 3 runs tonight, no walks, 1 strikeout.
A lot of hard contact by the Astros off of Zito in those 2 1/3 innings. You know, Bruce Bochy went to the right-hander at a critical time, and Cantos got 2 very big outs, so the Giants keep the lead.
1 ball, 1 strike. Giants just made a bullpen move before this game tonight. Jeremy Affeldt returned from paternity leave, and they have placed Clay Hensley on the disabled list. So they have 3 lefties in the pen.
The Giants, like the Astros, had Monday off. They typically get a lot of innings from their starters, so the bullpen is normally fairly well rested. And we're just days away from the September call-up, so it's easier to make this kind of a move early in the game with those extenuating circumstances.
1-2 to Barnes.
Hey, we met with some people down behind home plate during BP today. A lot of nice folks, Astros fans.
Well, I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, because
I forgot to. Go ahead.
I don't know if you have the same one I have. This is the weakest shout out ever because I forgot the names of the kids. But Grandpa wants to say hi to Alex and somebody else, and I apologize.
Glad you said that because I forgot. One of those fans here who's behind home plate, Glenda Green, is celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday, Glenda. Yeah. She's taping the game.
Yeah, well, see, you took notes. You wrote it down, and I realized, I said, I'll try to remember, and I had it.
Yeah. Strike to Dallas Keuchel. Well, the difference there is that you have a memory. So
apparently not. And happy birthday to Brian Furman today.
Brian Furman?
Yeah, the brother of our producer, Perry.
What's he doing tonight?
Probably celebrating.
Okay. He's not at the game? Oh, it is in Corpus Christi. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He might be at a Hooks game. Not sure if they're home or not. But they are playoff bound, and he's a big Astros fan, so he's been following the Hooks as they've moved their way into a playoff spot with a 41-23 record in the second half of the season. Strike 3. That's 3 in a row for Contos.
He has changed the tone.
Boy, hasn't he? Brown Hand Center shows you great hands of the game. Shows you Jose Altuve and Jimmy Paredes. Here's Jose Altuve on that foul, on that pop that was fair, actually, and then Paredes went over to foul territory as Altuve had the catch. And then the drive by Hunter Pence. Looked like it would have been perhaps a double had it not been caught by Paredes.
Maybe even 3 bases. That kicks off the wall back past Paredes.
Good point, the way Hunter runs.
Yeah.
Altuve has singled and scored. He's 1 for 2. Boy, Contos has changed the complexion of this game. The Astros were coming right at the Giants. They'd scored a couple of times. They had 2 men on base when he came in with 1 out. Retired Snyder and Gonzalez.
And I think the other thing that was driving Bruce Bochy's decision there was the way that Keuchel had settled in. If he felt like he was going to be able to put another big crooked number up against Dallas, he might have let Zito stay in the ball game.
Might have. 1-1. He has Ryan Vogelsong going tomorrow night, and he's put together a solid year. The Astros will counter with Jordan Lyles, who's coming off an outstanding game. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Well, Jordan that might have been his best game of the season last time out. He really was sharp.
He was dealing.
At New York, a 3-1 win Friday night.
The fastball's at 96 in that game.
Yeah. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Astros have been playing low scoring games recently. They lost 3-1 Friday night. Then they won 3-1 Saturday. Sunday they lost 2-1, and last night they lost 3-2. Line to second and caught by Scudero to make it a 1-2-3-4. That's 5 in a row. Retired by Contos. Giants lead at 4-3.
Field Mazda's What Do You Drive? Looking ahead to the series finale tomorrow, the Astros will send Jordan Lyles to the hill. Lyles coming off his first road victory of his career. Astros beat the Mets 3-1 at Citi Field. He held New York to just 1 run on 3 hits and 6 innings of work. Walked 2, struck out 4. That was his 9th quality start of the year. He's got a 3-10 record with a 5.47 ERA going in. But he's pitched much better than that on balance. That's your Mazda game break. Guys, back to you.
That was ball 1 from Dallas Keuchel to Francisco Peguero. Jordan Lyles up tomorrow night. Peguero grounded back to Keuchel earlier. This one a soft pop-up, and Brett Wallace comes over. We're looking at that Barry Zito move. He stepped off the rubber, but he stepped in front of the rubber. Let's watch.
Yeah, to me, that's a balk. And again, I'm Mr. Anti-balk, but to me, he's in contact with the rubber. And for him to be able to make that move, he's got to step off the back of the rubber. His first move is towards home plate there while in contact with the rubber, and I think that should constitute a balk. There's so many different sub-paragraphs to the balk rule, and there may be something in here that contradicts that, but as I read it, that's how I would interpret it. And maybe that Mike Everett just didn't see it, or maybe there's a different interpretation that I'm not aware of.
Well, Dan Radisson and Tony DeFrancesco are out talking with the umpire at first there about that play. There's a 2-hopper to Altuve. 2 outs routinely here, and we talk about what a tone-setting move that was to the Giant bullpen with Contos coming in. But also Dallas Keuchel has provided his own relief in this game after the Pence 3-run homer in the first.
Boy, he sure has. For a young guy, after getting ambushed the way he did, giving up that big home run to Pence and falling behind by 4, he's just come back and competed. You know, he didn't crater. Continued to battle and has not allowed a base runner since that home run.
13 batters in a row retired by Keuchel. Pagan the batter now. Led off the game with a double, and he struck out looking in the second. Cincinnati Reds won their 80th today when they beat Arizona to sweep that series. Matt Latos getting the victory 6-2. And that is the quickest the Reds have reached 80 wins since the 1976 team won number 80 in its 125th game. This game today was the 132nd game of the year.
76 Reds, that big red machine. They won 108 games that year?
That was 75.
75.
They won 102 in 76, and then they swept the postseason. 2-1. This also is the first time since 76 that a Reds team won 80 games before the end of August. And they're going to be here Friday night.
And they may have Joey Votto back in the lineup, which is amazing how well they've played without Votto.
Really is.
Amazing may be too strong of a word. I'll go with impressive.
Keuchel threw 27 pitches in the first inning. He's thrown 41 since.
That's amazing.
Not that well hit. Fernando Martinez on the track for out number 3. What a turnaround for Dallas Keuchel. Giants lead it 4-3. home fifth inning right after AT&T shows us a trivia question. Bruce Bochy hit 3 homers for the Astros in 1978. Name the only 2 Astros with 10 homers or more in 1978. Well, Cheo. '78.
CC was here in '78.
Yeah, I think he was. Yes, he was here. Tyler Green is 1 for 2. He singled and scored in the 3rd inning.
Bob Watson was here in '78.
Watson, I think, was here in '78. Let's go with Bob. Up and in, ball 1 to Tyler Green. Contos has retired all 5 men he has faced. Wallace and Paredes to follow Green to the plate. It's 1-1. Tomorrow night will be the final meeting of the season between these 2 clubs. Giants moving on to Chicago next. The Astros welcoming the Reds. That's in for a strike to make it 1-2.
He likes that slider and snap it off the outside edge, backdoor it. Get a little loose with it too. It really throws a lot of them, but he'll hang some. Guess everybody will.
2-2. Yeah, that's one of those pitches. That could be a home run pitch if you hang it. That's strike 3. 4th strikeout for Contos.
So he kind of pitches backwards, shows you a lot of sliders, and then he's got that deeply implanted in your brain. He'll slip that fastball by you. That one's perfectly placed over the outside corner at 91 miles an hour. Who were these Astros in 1978 with 10 or more home runs? Here we go. Bob Watson.
Hey, got one, partner.
Bull with 14, Cheo with 10. Tough to hit him at the dome back in the day.
Oh, yes. Brett Wallace 2 for 2 with an RBI. That's strike 1 to Brett. The Dodgers revealed after their game today that their closer Kenley Jansen is out indefinitely with recurrence of an irregular heartbeat. It sent him to the hospital before the game last night, and he had that problem last year, and he missed 4 weeks with it. Check swing roller. No balls, 2 strikes.
It's obviously something you don't fool around with.
And earlier today, they put reliever Scott Elbert, a left-hander, on the disabled list with a sore elbow. And apparently he's going to have surgery. The Dodgers were among those reportedly talking to the Rangers about Roy Oswalt. 1-2. Reports were that Roy had cleared waivers. And of course, the deadline for making a player eligible for postseason play is before September 1st. If he moves from one team to another. Fair ball, Belt throwing, Contos catching, and it's a 3-1 play for out number 2. Well, these 2 relievers, Contos and Keuchel, are doing a heck of a job.
Yes, they are. The game that looked like it was going to be a 10-9 game has really settled down. Strapping first baseman Brandon Belt, nicknamed Baby Giraffe by Dwayne Kuiper last year.
Forgot about that. Jimmy Paredes has popped up and hit a sac fly. He shoots this line drive to left. Peguero with the catch to make it a 1-2-3 fifth and a 4-3 Giant lead.
11th as they take on the Chicago Cubs for Heroes Night. Before the game, all uniformed police, fire, EMS, active military, and veterans are invited to participate in the pregame ceremony on the field. 10,000 fans will receive a mini U.S. flag courtesy of Arnie's Texas Size Party Store. Visit Astros.com/heroes for more information and to purchase a ticket today. Bill?
I'm quoting a tweet from you, Patty. Keuchel has retired 14 in a row since Pence's home run.
Glad I could help out.
Marco Scutaro takes, and it's strike one as the sixth inning gets underway. Scutaro put down a sac bunt in the first and fouled out in the third inning. It's 1-1. Guillermo Mota's warming up. And Mickey Story working for the Astros. 2 balls and 1 strike. Mota just returned from serving a 100-game suspension. He was activated prior to last night's game. It's a liner to the left. It bangs off the wall. Fernando Martinez with a throw into second, and he would have had him had it been right on the base. But Scutaro gets a double to snap that string of 14 straight Giants retired.
Dallas tried to throw him a cut fastball in. Scutaro very quick to that one. He pulls the hands in and throws the barrel at that high cut fastball. And then he gets a little break here as the ball off the scoreboard, but it doesn't come off with the impact that you see quite often. It's deadened a little bit there.
Knocked out a penalty.
Yeah, knocked down to 3. And that bought him an extra like 1.2 seconds, and that was the difference.
Double for Scutaro, his 23rd of the year. It's only hit number 4 for the Giants. The 3's been replaced. And the Panda takes ball 1.
Scutaro has been really good since joining the Giants.
Pete Rose is tweeting that on this day 1966 Robin Roberts became the only pitcher to beat the Boston, Milwaukee, and Atlanta Braves. Goes foul.
It's a busy day.
Yeah. 1-1.
Pete Rose is tweeting that?
Yeah.
What is Pete Rose doing tweeting that?
I don't know. But it's been retweeted by Greg Lucas. So maybe we can have him get to the bottom of this.
Be tweeting the line for this weekend's college football action.
That is another one of those this day in histories that he lifted right off the page.
1-2.
It's right in there with the one that I gave you as the bonus.
Okay, well, you do give us some bonuses.
Yeah, well, he gave you another one.
How many tweets do you think you average per day, Greg?
During the game is the only time I ever do it, and I'd say maybe 25, maybe. Okay. I don't know if that many. It may not be that many.
In the air, and this should be playable for somebody. Tyler Green.
You can hit her after.
It's not playable because, yeah, it hit the roof. And if it hit it in foul territory, it's not in play. So it's still 1-2. Sandoval gets a break. At AT&T Park, he'd be out. I don't get that many of those, though. Just a few a year on average. He's a .350 career hitter against the Astros. Fouls this one back. Still a 1-ball, 2-strike count. The All-Star game will be headed for Target Field in Minnesota in 2014. So it's Citi Field next year. Mickey Story warming up for the Astros. Keuchel's thrown 78 pitches. 46 have been strikes. Buster Posey's on deck. 2-2 to Sandoval. Chris Snyder out for a chat. There's a story that Chase Utley is open to moving to third base for the Phillies. Phillies apparently, according to reports, will not pick up the option of Placido Polanco. Who's hot?
Third base might be a good fit for Utley. Chris Medlin, boy, he's been dealing for Atlanta. 28 consecutive shutout innings. Tommy Malone, the crafty lefty, has been outstanding for the A's. Stanton's hitting about a home run a day here lately. Justin Verlander got touched up. I'm guessing he's going to go 8 shutout next time.
Yeah.
It's 4 1-0 losses in the last 22 ball games for the Rays.
3-2. That's as many 1-0 games as King Felix has won this year. 4 1-0 wins. And that hasn't been done for a long time.
You got to do something special to be the king. You just can't be the king without doing something like that.
Good point. And some say he's now, well, he's certainly in the Cy Young conversation, but he might have moved into the driver's seat. He won a couple of years ago, despite a record of something like 13-12.
Last year, wasn't it?
Okay, it was last year then. Where are those folks? Insperity Club?
They're out there in the Budweiser patio.
Oh, yeah. Roll foul.
Sandoval's tough out, tough guy to finish off because he reaches so many balls. But in a situation like this, though, you can tell yourself that you don't have to give in because of his willingness to swing, and you can tell that's exactly what they're doing. I mean, they don't want to throw him anything over the plate. Going all over the place, and that's brought to you by TxDOT. Well, not that one. Taking it to an extreme.
25th walk of the year for Sandoval. Second of the night for Keuchel.
He's trying to flip a backdoor curveball up there and just didn't finish the pitch. And that's going to finish the night for Dallas. But he did one fine job after giving up that 4 spot early.
Double switch here. Scott Moore comes off the bench. Paredes made the last out, but he's staying in the game. Let's see what the move is going to be here. Tyler Green's coming in. Looks like Gonzalez will move to second and Moore go in at third. Meanwhile, a new pitcher, Mickey Story's on his way in. 4-3, the Giants lead it, and we'll be right back.
To support Boys and Girls Club of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. To learn more, please visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. Some changes in the field, Bill.
Double switch, in fact. And there is Marwin Gonzalez as a part of this. He moves from third base to shortstop. Scott Moore comes into the game. to bat ninth and play third base. Tyler Green coming out, and the pitcher Mickey Story will go into the number 2 spot in the order. Coming in with runners at first and second, nobody out.
Well, Keuchel settled in, hung in there nicely. Now needs a little help from the bullpen. And Mickey Story, first man out of the chute. 10 times he's worked this year. 0-1, 3.21. The ERA after a nice year down in the minor leagues.
Facing Buster Posey. Here's strike one to Buster. He walked and scored in the first inning on the Hunter Pence 3-run homer. He popped up in the third. Hunter Pence is on deck. Story leads all Astros relievers in innings pitched since he joined the club August 3rd. Brings that in for a strike.
Posey's a little frustrated. 2 quick strikes here. I'm guessing this is his first look at Mickey Story. Maybe passed somewhere along the way in the minor leagues.
93 combined runs batted in for Posey and Hector Sanchez, the most in the majors. They also have a third catcher now, Eli Whiteside, which frees them up to play Posey at first base. Top to third. Standing on the bag, Moore gets the out there, throws across the Wallace for a double play.
Well, how sweet is that? Buster Posey up there has been the best hitter in baseball since the All-Star break, and he gets him to roll over and hit a meek little ground ball to third. Moore, all he has to do is catch it while on the bag and make a throw across the diamond.
Two outs, and now it's Hunter Pence. He ripped a 3-run homer. And he hit a deep drive to right field, caught by leaping Paredes his second time up. Strike to Pence. Pence has hit a big one to win a game for the Giants, but other than that, had not struck a lot of blows until the first inning tonight for them.
Chris Snyder wanted that pitch off the plate. With the base open, they're trying to get Pence to expand to chase that slider off the plate. Now they're going to go way up with a heater. First inning, he got a breaking ball from Dallas and hit it a good long ways.
Number 2 is a giant for him. Ground ball to third. Scott Moore. Low throw and safe at first. Wallace came off the bag. Well, Pence is able to beat it, and Sandoval takes third on the misplay. Bringing up Arias.
That's an error on Moore on the throw, and you got to hurry with Pence going down the line. We've seen it time and time again when in an Astro uniform, when he rolls over on a ball like that, he gets such a good break out of the box. And as third baseman, you get into a certain rhythm and you look up and you see that guy a lot further down that line than you anticipated. You hurry the throw, and Wallace, he cannot afford to let that ball get by and let Sandoval score. So his priority at that point is make sure he gets the ball, even if he has to leave the bag.
6th error on Scott Moore. Now Joaquin Arias bats. He's 0 for 2. To left field. Martinez on the run, diving off his glove. Sandoval scores. Here's Pence around third. He comes to the plate. Arias into third base, and it's a big 2-run hit. A triple for Arias, and the Giants lead at 6-3 as he again drives in important runs. That's what he did last night as a pinch hitter in the 9th. Fifth triple for Arias this year, with 29 runs batted in.
So many times that's been the story this year. An error really opening up the floodgates. The pitcher cannot finish off the inning after a critical error. Martinez leaving his feet to try to corral this one. He thought he had it. You can tell he rolls over on his back and holds his glove up. And then looks and says, wait a minute, nobody's home.
Now a curveball to Brandon Belt. There's strike one. The ball had rolled away, and it wound up being a 2-run triple. Very big hit in this game because the Astros had tightened it after the Giants took a 4-0 first inning lead. 1-1 for Mickey Story. Dallas Keuchel goes 5 innings, allowing 4 hits, 5 runs. Walking 2, Fanning 3.
Run allowed in this inning will be unearned.
Figueroa's on deck.
Started poorly and ended poorly for him, but there was a whole lot of good in between.
There was. Roll foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Astros have allowed 65 unearned runs this year. So often they'll be playing a close game as they are tonight, and then an error does open the floodgates for them. Tough to overcome that. Ground ball second. Altuve over to Wallace. And the Giants come up with 2 on 2 hits with an error and a man left. They lead it now 6-3. Miller time brought to you by Miller Lite, and we'll show you some good swings. Here's Brandon Barnes with a hit, and Chris Snyder with his legs accounting for a run and his left arm. He withdraws it and then goes over the top of that tag attempt by Buster Posey to slap it on the plate and score run number 1.
The hustling double by Snyder to get things started, and then the good base running to score the run, beat the tag from Posey.
Now the return after the 100-game suspension of Guillermo Mota in 9 games, 0-1 with a 5.06 ERA. Activated yesterday. This is his first appearance since May 5th. And Mota is pitching at age 39 this year.
I was just going to say, if there's anybody you would excuse for using anything, it'd be Mota, because he's about 100. But he's only 39.
He was tested positive May 7th for a substance in violation of the Joint Drug Prevention and Treatment Program. He said it was ingesting some cough syrup for one of his kids, and he didn't check the label to know what the ingredients were. Whatever the reason, it was the second time he's been suspended. He was suspended 50 games in 2006 for failing a drug test, admitted the mistake then. He is 39 and 45 lifetime in 14 years with a 3.92 ERA.
Yeah, first came up with the Expos back in 1999. Originally signed as a position player before making the move to the mound. Fastball, slider, changeup, kind of a hybrid, funky split little changeup thing that he features. It's probably his best pitch.
Fernando Martinez takes, and there's ball 1 to him. George Contos did a big job for Bruce Bochy tonight, going 2 2/3 innings. Did not allow a base runner. No hits, no runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts for Contos.
Because Barry Zito did not go 5 innings to qualify for the win. Contos in position to pick up the W if the rest of the guys in the pen hold the Astros down. Not only the job by Contos, but Bruce Bochy pulling the trigger when he did to go get Zito. Really a key moment in this game.
Well, he's in a pennant race, and you explained it at the time. It's worked out very well with Bochy making that move. Now the Giants have added to their lead with the 2 unearned runs in the top of the inning. Bouncer goes foul. 1-2. So Dallas Keuchel, we gave you the pitching line, but as JD mentioned, the runs were unearned in the top of the inning. So of the 5 runs he allowed, 4 were earned. Little guy with a souvenir. The Giants are up by 3 with Martinez trying to get a rally started, to be followed by Snyder and Gonzalez. Mota was just activated last night. Jeremy Affeldt was on the paternity leave list. And then tonight Affeldt returned after he and his wife welcomed a child into the world. And Clay Hensley went on the DL. And Mota returns with a strikeout. Number 6 for Giant pitching without any walks tonight.
Bryce Harper's hit a pair of home runs for the Nationals this evening, trying to hang on and knock off the Marlins. They had an early 5-0 lead. 7-4 now, the Nationals over the Marlins. So 2 home runs for Harper, giving him 14. Suzuki hit his first. So, at RFK Stadium, where Bruce Bochy first went to Major League games. His dad was working at the Pentagon. And Bruce used to go see the Senators play at RFK back when he was a kid.
Ball 1 to Chris Snyder. Bruce was actually born in France. Snyder doubled and scored, as you saw in the 2nd inning. Hit a fly ball to right in the 3rd.
Bruce Bochy and the Coneheads, both from France. Eldar, from France.
That's right. Washington with a 4.5 game lead on Atlanta. And in the wild card, you see Atlanta and St. Louis in favorable spots right now.
Pirates finished off the Cardinals 5-0. Nice job by Wandy tonight.
It's 3 balls, no strikes. Wandy goes to 9-13 with that win. His ERA drops to 3.86. He beats Joe Kelly, who's 4-6. Pedro Alvarez hit the only homer, his 26th. Snyder draws a 4-pitch walk, and Marwin Gonzalez will follow. First walk of the night for the Giants pitching staff. Marwin has popped up and struck out. Matt Harvey and the Mets top the Phillies 3-2 in Philadelphia. Harvey going to 3-3 with a 2.76 ERA. Frank Francisco got save number 22. Lucas Duda hit his 13th homer. White Sox clubbed Baltimore 8-1. Axelrod beat Saunders. Fouled away. There's strike 1. Felix Hernandez is now leading the American League in ERA. He's won 13 games. The co-leaders are David Price and Jared Weaver with 16.
I think if I had to vote right now, I'd probably still lean toward David Price. But
he's had a big year.
Yeah, all those guys you mentioned certainly deserving and could claim that award before all is said and done. I just like, Price in that division, boy, he had such a run of dominant starts. Gives them 7+ about every time he goes out there. Weaver, solid. He's been great at the end of games for Tampa. I mean, 8-4 lead over the Rangers.
Liner over shortstop into left field. A hit for Marwin Gonzalez. Runners at first and second and one out. Let's look at those guys again. I like the music they were playing.
Yeah, some good jams, Brownie.
First of all, we have some business to do. Here's a hit.
It's left-handed hitting Marwin. Far superior to right-handed Marwin. This little serve and volley out there to left field. Astros going to keep battling here, down 3, but a couple of base runners. There it is. This is called Cy Young Candidate Jam. Brownie has it on his iPod. Listens to it on the way in every day.
No, that's illegal, JD.
Not for public consumption.
Isn't it technically illegal to be listening to music when you're driving?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Somebody sold you that years ago when you were a young driver?
Yeah.
You never got clarification?
Well, they didn't have iPads then. iPods, rather. There's ball 1-2, Barnes. Brandon drove in a run in the second inning with a single. He struck out in the fourth. Showing bunt there, but the Astros trail by 3.
Need a long extension cord to get that phonograph in the back seat of the car back in the day.
Yeah, you do what you've got to do, JD.
That needle would keep skipping on you.
It's not always pretty, but you have to make the effort. Got to be music in the automobile. There's this guy, it's 1-1. Moda, the ancient one, trying to get out of this little jam with runners at first and second and one out.
Scott Moore, who came in the double switch, is on deck. He's in the 9 hole.
That could be beneficial. 1-2 to Barnes. Moore's about due to break out of it. He's in an 0 for 21. Eric Stultz in San Diego topped Atlanta 8-2. Stultz goes to 5-2 with a 2.45 ERA. Beating Tommy Hanson, who's 12-7. David Ross hit his 7th home. Barnes looks at that one for ball 2. So Washington has the golden opportunity to move 5 games in front of the Braves. Grounded at third. Sandoval gets it to second, and that's it because he didn't make a clean play. They get out number 2 from 5-4 with Scudero taking the throw, forcing Gonzalez. Now it's first and third, 2 outs.
Bruce Bochy's already on his way out. He's going to bring in the left-hander. Good swing here by Barnes. Rolled over a little bit, but hit it sharply. If Sandoval gets that cleanly, it's going to be an easy double play because the ball was hit so sharply, but only able to get to 1 after the bobble. Good hard slide there by Marwin.
Yep. That's all Motor will do tonight. He leaves with 2 men on base. And it'll be lefty on lefty as Bochy goes to the bullpen with a 6-3 Giant lead. More in a moment.
Hometown Kids. It's not about the score, it's about the experience. So tune in each Saturday at 10 a.m. right here on Fox Sports Houston or visit hometownkids.tv for more information. Bill?
Thanks, Patty. Here's a lefty-on-lefty confrontation. Jose Mijares coming out of the bullpen. He'll be pitcher number 4 for Bruce Bochy tonight. He's facing lefty-hitting Scott Moore. Mijares in 11 games, 1-0. The opponent average is .267. He was claimed off waivers from Kansas City August 6th. Moore's over his last 21. And looks at ball 1.
Saw Mijares, didn't we, when the Royals were in town?
Yes, June 20th. He came in a 2-1 ball game and struck out Jordan Schaefer, the only man he faced. Jose's 27 years old. He's from Caracas, Venezuela. It's 1-1. Jordan Schaefer, by the way, has played a few games for Oklahoma City, working his way back to the big league roster for September. Mijares, in his last outing against the Braves, gave up 2 runs in 1/3 of an inning. Throws a strike to pull in front in the count, 1-2. Scott Moore walked last night as a pinch hitter. Lefty's hitting .263 against Mijares. He has stranded all 9 of his inherited runners since joining the Giants. That's a line shot into right field. That'll get a run home to make it 6-4. Scott Moore with an RBI single. There's a throw to third, not in time. Barnes going first to third on the hit by Moore.
Well, Bochy made the move to bring the lefty in, got the advantage he was looking for, but it did not come to fruition for him. Scott Moore spoiled the party. Picked on this high slider, hit it on a line of right field. Pence has to retreat and play it on a hop. Barnes with good speed, moving with the crack of the bat, safely into third.
Snyder scoring to make it a 6-4 game. That's hit number 9 for the Astros. Moore snapping the 0 for 21 and picking up RBI number 21 of the year. Jose Altuve is 1 for 3. Mijares came up with Minnesota. His first major league year was 08. He delivers ball 1. Altuve belts one out of here. It's going to be interesting. Jose's hit 5 homers. He's also added 31 doubles and 4 triples to the extra base assault.
He's about due. He hasn't gone deep in a long time.
Has been a while.
187 at bats. June 23rd against Cleveland the last time Jose left the yard.
Ooh. And Bogusevic on deck. Hector Ambrose in the bullpen for Houston. It's 2-0. Ambrose warming up.
Right here. Crawford boxes.
This is it. Do not turn away from your set right now. Oh,
wait.
2-1. Altuve continues to lead all National League second basemen in hits. Tied for first in doubles, 4th in runs scored. Now trying to keep this rally going. A walk and 2 singles for the Astros here in the 6th inning. Now he's worked the count to 3 balls and a strike.
Mijares better make sure he comes set there. We've seen more of a stop called a balk this year on a pitcher with a man on third base.
Mijares made 51 appearances for Kansas City. He has walked Altuve to load the bases, and now we get a pinch hitter for the pitcher. And batting for Mickey Story, it's Brian Bogusevic. Tony DeFrancesco really hampered here. Dave Righetti going to the mound by the fact that one of his right-handed hitters, Ben Francisco, had to be scratched with a wrist injury, and another, Justin Maxwell, has had a finger problem. And all he has is left-handed batters other than those 2.
Moore's already in the game, so now it's Bogusevic, and that will leave him with Jason Castro available.
Bogusevic came in last night, and his first plate appearance in the 7th resulted in a walk. Then he grounded out in the 9th. He's hit 155 against lefties, so this would be a spot in which Tony D would prefer to have a right-handed batter, but he just doesn't have a healthy one available right now.
It's interesting with Maharis on the mound, a left-hander. Action in the Giant bullpen. It's another left-hander, probably Affeldt warming up out there.
It is Affeldt.
He's after Bogey. It's Wallace.
Fly ball near the left field line. Here's Peguero with a long run, and the ball slices him, and he dives, but it's foul and out of play for him.
Wow. That would have cleared the bases.
Oh, so close for Bogusevic. Well, Peguero went all out, diving for a ball. Let's see what the fans doing here. Reaching over, but in order for that to be called fan interference, he would have to be camped under that ball ready to catch it. So the call's not going to be made when the outfielder's diving for the ball.
Boy, you got to love the sellout by Peguero. My goodness.
You bet. 2 balls and a strike to Bogusevic. Barnes is at third. Moore there at second. Altuve at first. Astros as a team hitting 144 with the bases loaded. Little tap goes foul. Bogey's been playing with a manageable right knee problem. Nicky Story worked 1 inning. Allowed 1 hit and 1 run. It was not earned. No walks, no strikeouts. Breaking ball and a strikeout with the bases loaded for Mijares to end the 6th inning, with the Giants up 6-4.
Is brought to you by Hyundai's Summer Drive Sales Event, now through September 3rd. By AT&T, Rethink Possible. And by Coshada Casino Resort, the largest, most exciting casino resort in all of Louisiana. Astros have closed the gap by a run, down 6-4 And up until Bogey's at bat, they've been doing pretty well, left-handed hitters against left-handed pitchers in this game. They have 3 hits. Didn't get that one, though.
The masked marvels are watching as Hector Ambriz warms up. And in this 6-4 game, the Giants come up in the 7th inning. Peguero will be leading it off, and then the Giants will be ready to hit for the pitcher.
Just 3 appearances so far for Hector in an Astro uniform. 2 1/3 innings of work. Pitched down at AAA with Oklahoma City 20 times. 18 times. 20 times he pitched for the Cleveland AAA club. He has big league time with the Indians back in 2010. He's going to feature a fastball about 93, 94 miles an hour and a hard slider and a curveball.
Peguero is grounded back to the pitcher, and he's popped to first. Lefty hitting Gregor Blanco on deck. Fastball, ball 1 for Hector Ambriz, who went to UCLA, grew up in Southern California. Lowell Pass would love to broadcast for Hector Ambriz. Would have loved to, because he would have said he breezed him. He Ambrized him. One ball, 1 strike.
That was Lowell's thing, breezing somebody.
Yeah, he breezed him. Yeah.
Now you're chunking in there.
That's what he said. And occasionally somebody would hit a long home run, and he would say he cackled that one. 1 and 2.
Needs to mix in a belt.
And he was a broadcaster for the Houston Buffs before the Colt 45 started playing. 13,207 the attendance tonight.
Now, is there any in cackling one? Is there any reason? I mean, he just make that up, or is there?
I think he made it up.
Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, that wasn't the last time that something in Astros broadcasting history was made up. Uh-oh.
Now this could be a strikeout and a reach base on it. Yes, he does. He zips up that first base line. He's pretty fast. So Peguero strikes out and reaches on presumably what's a wild pitch. It is a wild pitch to open the 7th inning.
Breaking ball in the dirt here, and it sneaks through the 5-hole on Snyder off the umpire's foot. That would have been fortunate had that just popped straight up in the air for Chris, but on by it goes, and the Giants have a leadoff man on base.
And the pinch hitter is Gregor Blanco. Blanco 3 for 13 as a pinch hitter with 4 runs batted in. He was the starting left fielder last night. He went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts.
Scott Moore will cheat in at third base in anticipation of a bunt.
Toss over to first on Peguero. Since Melky Cabrera's suspension August 15th, Blanco had started 8 of the last 12 games until tonight in left field. He's been the primary replacement for Cabrera. Ambriz delivers, and it's ball 1 to Blanco. Blanco's made 75 starts this year. He can play all 3 outfield positions, and he has done that this year. Started 11 times in center, 13 in left, and 50 in right. That's where he was in right when he made that great catch in the Matt Cain perfect game on the ball hit by Jordan Schaefer. Giants have 6 runs on 5 hits. 2 of their runs unearned, and they lead by that margin. Flick foul, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Guillermo Mota in 2/3 of an inning allowed 1 hit, 1 run. He had a walk and a strikeout. Mijares worked 1/3 of an inning. He allowed 1 hit, no runs with a walk and a strikeout. And pitcher number 5 will be coming in for Bruce Bochy in the bottom of this inning.
A couple of years ago, Peguero stole 40 bases in A ball for the Giants. Looking at Fangraphs right now, showing just one stolen base for him at AAA this year. Doesn't make sense.
No, that's surprising.
But he can run. He had a bunch of triples.
Yeah. Bunted. Back to the pitcher. Ambriz to Wallace on a sacrifice. 1 out. Figueroa to second for Angel Pagan. Pagan opened the game with a double. He's 1 for 3.
Get into the final third of a ball game. Manager much more likely to adapt a one-run strategy, just trying to push a run across to build the lead a little bit. I mean, you'll take more, but you strategize for one. You're going to enhance your chances of getting 1 run home here with that sacrifice bunt.
Tony DeFrancesco watching as Hector Ambriz, pitcher number 3 for the Astros, faces Pagan. That's strike 1. Giants were 5 games out of first place at the All-Star break. They've gone 26-17 since then to build a lead of 3 games. They're 23-13 against the clubs in the NL Central. Strike, and it's 0-2.
Benefit of the doubt off that outside corner. Be a good time to breeze him right here, Brownie.
It would be. Tops a foul. Still 0-2 to Angel Pagan. Giants were swept at Arizona to open the season. They lost their closer Brian Wilson very early in the year. They rebounded and played good ball for a while and went 17-9 in the month of June to move into first place. They swept the Dodgers in a series with 3 consecutive shutouts. Strike 3. Pagan caught looking. Second strikeout for Ambriz.
Well, that's a pitching right there, boy. 2 strikes off the outside edge and a come on back 2-seam fastball clipping the inside corner.
He Ambrized him. And now Scudero. Scudero is 1 for 2, a double in the 6th inning. He looks at ball 1. The Giants swept the Rockies in Colorado to move into first place August 11th. Now as they get close to the end of the month, they're in a very favorable position.
The Dodgers have loaded up. They're going to be tough to hold off, but the Giants have a easier schedule the rest of the way.
It's 2-0.
Dodger players and the Giant players wouldn't admit that. That hey, you got to play the games, you got to win them. But Dodgers have a series with the Cardinals, the Reds, the Nationals. A tough long road trip remaining. The Giants are all within the division. After this trip, here to Houston and then on to Chicago to play the Cubs. Talking about that last night, and again, Bochy would never admit this, but I got to believe if I'm Bruce, I'm thinking I got to come out of this trip 5-1.
Yeah. And then after Chicago, they're back home against Arizona. And then an off day, September 6th, and then the Dodgers.
They finish the season in L.A. Final 3 days.
Yeah, they go on that road trip, 3 in San Diego, 3 in L.A. Wind up the last week. Could come down to that. This wild card could be crazy this year.
I'm still trying to figure out what the play-in situation is if you end up with like 3 teams tied for that second wild card spot.
Yeah, we'll have to try to get a ruling on what that would be. Since everything's new this year, we're not really too sure how that works. Strike three, call. Ambrose strikes out the side. And it's 6-4 San Francisco. To this reverse replay, we look at the night of Brett Wallace. He had a 3-hit night last night. Now he begins with a double to left center in the first inning tonight. Singles in a run in the third as the Astros close to within one at 4-3. 5 consecutive hits at that point for Brett Wallace. Then he grounded out in the fifth. Guess who's up to lead off the home seventh inning? Brett Wallace against lefty Jeremy Affeldt. Affeldt will be pitcher number 5 for Bruce Bochy in this game. He's 1-1 with 3 saves in 4 opportunities and a 2.92 ERA.
Left-handed batter's hitting .228 against the veteran Affeldt. Been a good, solid setup man over the years. Did some starting early in his career, and that really didn't work out that well. Made the move to the bullpen and settled in nicely.
Gregor Blanco takes over in left field for Francisco Peguero, and the pitcher is in the number 8 spot in the lineup. Affeldt was placed on paternity leave yesterday. He and his wife Larissa had their 3rd child, a boy, and returned after 1 day. Guys in pennant races don't feel they have a lot of time to spend away from their team. Wallace 2 for 3 tonight with an RBI. And it's ball 1 to him.
No, that's a good rule, though, that allows clubs to replace a player on the roster so they can be home for the birth of their child.
Right.
That was not always the case.
Definitely not.
So it really put the player in a tough position.
One ball, 1 strike. Affeldt has been touched for 6 runs on 11 hits in his last 10 innings and 7 walks. Hit a pitch there, and he's at 1-2 now on Wallace.
Fastball, curveball, split finger pitch are the offerings for Affeldt.
There's a shot up the middle, juggled, and a good recovery by Arias. We're juggling out number 1. No luck for Wallace on that one. He hit it hard up the middle.
Continues to have good at-bats. Puts a good swing on a tough lefty here. Hits the ball hard. A little funky spin on Arias and the bobble, but a nice recovery. A little slice spin, and maybe even got a little bit of the glove of Affeldt.
I think it did. Maybe. It's
got some side spin that kicks it back the other way, and that's why it went off the heel of the glove of Arias.
Here's strike one to Paredes. He's 0 for 2 with a sac fly. All right, here it is, JD. Breaking ties without playoff games. The team with the best record in head-to-head play. That's number one tiebreaker. Okay. 1-1. Number two is the team with the best overall record ignoring interleague play. Number three is the team with the best record in the final 81 games of the season ignoring interleague play. 1 and 2.
What about a scenario where there were 3 teams tied?
Let's see.
I guess it would just be the team with the best head-to-head record among the 3.
Foul ball. All right, the 3 teams will be designated as A, B, and C. A 2-game elimination format will ensue. In Game 1, A will host B. The following day in Game 2, the winner. No, we wouldn't be doing that. There aren't that many days for.
Because you'd have to push everything back.
Wow. They're going to play it off. Interesting. That would push back the postseason. Yep. They play it off. Rolled over on the third base side. Here's Sandoval throwing, and on the run, he gets Paredes hurrying to get out number 2.
Paredes can really scoot, so Sandoval had to come in hard and make a play, and he did. Leaning out on this one, as we mentioned earlier with Pence, when a hitter takes a swing like that, he usually gets a real good break out of the box. Bang, bang there at first base. Looks like they got him. Yeah, the baby giraffe with the big long stretch.
They sure did. Turned into a Nacogdoches pine on that one. There is ball 1 to Martinez. Martinez is 1 for 3. He really stretched out. Fernando single to right in the 3rd inning. It's 1-1. The Astros have out hit the Giants tonight 9-5, but the big 3-run homer by Hunter Pence in the first gave the Giants a 4-0 lead. And the Astros have been struggling to get caught up ever since then. They cut it to 4-3. 1-2 now to Martinez. Affeldt is pitching for the 4th time this season against the Astros. He has pitched scoreless baseball in the first 3. He got a win in a 12-inning game at San Francisco July 14th, and he got a hold coming in with a 3-2 lead in the 7th inning the next night. The Giants won by that score 3-2. Santiago Casilla is warming up for the Giants. He was in last night's game. Castillo usually is the 8th inning guy, and that's what he did last night. He got 1 out in the 8th inning. And then Romo got the save last night in the 3-2 win. Now 2-2 to Fernando Martinez. Tony DeFrancesco would like to go with more of a set lineup here in the remaining weeks of the season with the young players. Strikeout for Affeldt. He has a 1-2-3 7th inning, and the Giants take a 6-4 lead to the 8th. Nothing lead in the first inning, and they have the lead by 2 now, heading to the 8th inning. Chevron will show you starting pitchers of upcoming games for the Astros. Tomorrow night we are not on television. At 7 o'clock you can see, or you can hear rather, on Astros radio, Ryan Vogelsong and Jordan Lyles. Vogelsong has a fine ERA of 2.90. He's 11-7. Lyles is 3-10 with a 5.47, but coming off a very fine game. That's the matchup tomorrow night on Astros radio.
Come on out to the yard. Come on out here. Plenty of good seats. It's a guys' night out.
They have fun over there. They throw stuff at each other. So that's what they'll be doing tomorrow night on Astros radio. With Lowell Matheny up there at the helm. It's a computer and everything. We go to the 8th inning, and it's Sandoval leading it off. Ambriz had a good 7th. He struck out 3. One of those strikeouts reached on a wild pitch. And it's ball 1 to Sandoval. Sandoval drove in a first inning run, and he walked and scored in the 6th. He scored twice. Two and 0.
Today's Roy Oswald's birthday.
How old is Roy?
35.
Do you think he'll be a Ranger on Monday?
I don't know. Is it the Dodgers are interested?
Dodgers and Washington, supposedly.
How are they going to use him?
Not sure. Presumably as a starter. Steven Strasburg may be running out of starts. But John Lannon was supposed to be the fallback position, according to reports, for shutting down Strasburg.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd want to be the guy brought in as the designated Strasburg caddy. If you go in there and struggle in that role.
And as you pointed out, they do have a really well-balanced rotation. But if you're thinking playoff rotation, you want that number one guy.
Man, yeah.
In the air, and Fred Wallace comes in for first base.
I mean, they have other guys that, in my mind, are as good as anybody else's aces. I think Jordan Zimmerman is just, talking to some of the Nationals people, we were playing them, and a couple of them say, hey, this Jordan Zimmerman's been as good as anybody. He's good, if not better, than Strasburg over the long haul. So that, they have other front of the rotation type guys, but you just hate to give up one in a short series. That's where their edge lies. They have a good lineup. But you get them in a short series and you have to deal with Strasburg and Gio Gonzalez and Jordan Zimmerman. Hang with them.
Yeah. Buster Posey grounds. There's a play by Marwin Gonzalez to his right. For out number 2. Quickly in front of that ball. Got himself into an excellent position to field. Now Hunter Pence, he ripped a 3-run homer in the first, reached on an error and scored in the 6th. He was robbed by a nice catch by Jimmy Paredes in right field in the 4th inning. Arias on deck as the Astros try to hold the deficit to 2. Snyder, Gonzalez, and Barnes due up in the bottom of the inning. Ambriz just off the plate with ball 1.
Nice slider.
That's been a tough pitch for Hunter down through the years.
Good late breaking, lane changing slider there. Hunter missed it by 3 feet.
Did he swing at that? He did. Mike Everett made the call, and it's 1-2. Selvin Nash hit a home run last night.
Just enough.
Yeah. First grand slam of the year for Telvin Nash. He's hit 28. Tie for the lead in the California League. Playing for Lancaster. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tri-City Valley Cats won 1-0. They are 49-19. Hunter lays off the high pitch, and it's a 3-ball, 2-strike count. J.D. Martinez is hitting 194 at Oklahoma City for 67 at bats. He has 13 hits, 3 of them doubles, 1 homer, or no homers rather, 1 RBI. Hunter takes a walk.
Oh, and he takes a nasty one. That was a good pitch.
First walk for Ambrose, number 3 for Astros pitching.
It's a situation there where Hunter was fairly well convinced what he was going to get. He was flailing at that slider early, and he said, no way I'm not going to chase it this time. But that one just missed.
Pence aboard with 2 outs. He has 5 steals and 7 tries. Joaquin Arias, the batter. He hit a 2-run triple in the 6th. He's 1 for 3. Wandy Rodriguez's win for the Pirates was only his 2nd as a starter since June 14th. He won a game in relief, but it was a big one for the Pirates as they blanked the Cardinals 5-0. Strike to Arias. Oh, those two teams were yelling at each other last night after that hit batter following the home plate collision. Rod Barajas yelling over at the Cardinal dugout. Chris Carpenter was yelling over the other way. Carpenter's on the disabled list. They need to get him out of the dugout in games like that.
Can't keep Carpenter out of a good fight.
No.
He gets stirred up.
That one hit him. Arias hit by the pitch. He was leaning over and just couldn't react to get out of the way of it.
He already started to swing. Diving, getting ready, starts his swing, and then the ball just rides in on him and gets him on the wrist, it looked like.
And Chris Snyder
got dinged too.
Yeah. Snyder got the carom shot off Arias' wrist. Rex Jones coming out to talk with him. And they're testing the left hand strength and grip of Arias to see if everything's all right to keep him in this game. That wrist area is being examined. Meanwhile, the jaw gets out of alignment sometimes for a catcher on a carom shot like that. The mask can only do so much. Runners at first and second, 2 outs now, and it's Brandon Belt 0 for 3.
Hey, there's something we could do. We could have like a fantasy camp. What's it like to be a big leaguer? And people could put on the gear. And we set up a pitching machine, and we could just fire 92-mile-an-hour fastballs and let them take them off the mask.
That sounds like fun.
I'm guessing they'd have to sign some kind of an insurance waiver.
Yeah, they would. Brandon Belt is 0 for 3.
So yeah, the busiest guys at those fantasy camps are the trainers. Those weekend warriors trying to relive the glory days.
Went to a tennis fantasy camp one time. By the 5th day, everybody was lined up for something. Let's skip breakfast today and get treatment instead. Forget it.
You just sit around and tell stories.
1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, by the last day, there was a lot more talking than playing.
Astros were thinking about doing one a couple of years ago, and it kind of fizzled.
Well, that would be fun for you guys. You could go to Florida early, welcome a new crop, indoctrinate them. Fouled away, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. There's a lot of male bonding in those things. You really don't have to play that well at all. It's just all about.
Well, obviously, you're going to do something here like for a long weekend kind of thing.
True.
I think a lot of guys get a big kick out of coming out and being on the field here at Minute Maid Park.
Well, I think you have a good point there because you wouldn't have any flight involved for the people who live in this area.
Yeah, you'd have to keep your numbers down.
Maybe 10. No,
two teams worth of guys. You got to have games.
So you got to have 30 people. No, you got to have 50 people.
Nah, you just need 9 guys aside. Right?
All right.
A few extra pitchers.
I mean, you got to play every day.
Well, I'm doing a short one. I'm talking about a 3 or 4 day deal here.
Oh, okay.
We're just talking. We're just talking
We're
here,
just
you
talking,
and I.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're working this out on the fly. 1 ball, 2 strikes. How much do you want to charge? How much do you want to make on this thing?
Well, yeah. Let's get right down to cases here.
Okay. We could do it on a sliding scale. Well, we have tomorrow off, so maybe by Friday night we'll have
Put it
this
all
figured
together.
out. That's so much fun. It really is. And I think, obviously, for the campers, it's just being around guys like you. They'd like to make some good plays in the field and get some hits, but mostly just swapping stories.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything, you know. Taking BP on the big field, fielding ground balls. But I think, you know, we could change things up here.
What could we do?
Typically in a fantasy camp, you bring back old players, right? So
Right.
we could do a future camp, and we could bring in some of the Astros prospects
Okay.
and let these guys hang out with them firsthand and see what they're all about.
I like it.
Future camp, we'll call it.
Okay. Xavier Cedeno warming up.
Those young players probably wouldn't mind making a few extra bucks.
I would imagine they would have room in their wallet for a few extra dollars.
Oh,
Snyder blocks, and it's 3-2. Well, maybe Jonathan Singleton, Jared Cosart, guys like that.
yeah. This is a spiked fastball from Hector Ambriz. Chris able to square up behind it, keep it under control.
And we could have, catered meals brought in. Runners will be going on this 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. And a foul ball.
Pretty good 3-2 pitch there. 2-seam fastball. Outer third and down, staying out of harm's way. You gotta give him something that he's going to offer at. Sliding off the outside edge, but close enough where Belt couldn't afford to let it go. Intrigued by this guy. He's awfully strong. Hasn't hit home runs at the big league level yet with any regularity, but you got to believe it's in there.
One hopper to shortstop. Marwin Gonzalez over to Brad Wallace. To end the 8th inning for the Giants with no runs, no hits, and 2 men stranded, it's 6-4 San Francisco.
Sure to follow the Astros with the MLB.com @Bat12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @Bat to 31826 or visit Astros.com for details. Multiple changes out here, Bill.
Hey, Patty, if we have a fantasy camp, could you cook?
Oh, can I cook?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! You know, we got a lot to talk about here, and you've got changes to get to. So this could be a real ugly inning.
Yes, it could. It could be ugly in a lot of ways. In fact, there's Brandon Crawford at shortstop, and Joaquin Arias moves from shortstop to third base. Well, you could play too, of course. It would just be in your spare time because nobody else could cook. Santiago Casillas is 5-5. He has 24 saves, but has been moved out of the closer's role, and he is now a setup man.
He actually got the win in last night's game. He's having a nice month. An ERA below 1. He came in for Matt Cain last night, got a couple of big outs in the 8th, and the Giants scored 2 in the 9th to make a winner out of Casillas.
Chris Snyder gets it going in the home 8th inning. He has a double and a walk and 2 runs scored. Gonzalez and Barnes to follow. In the air, back out of play for strike 1.
Well, nice job by Hector Ambrose tonight.
Very nice.
I don't know if he's done. I assume he is. But
pitcher batting second currently, so the Astros would like to put together a furious rally to be able to hit for Hector Ambrose.
Getting handshakes and pats on the back, so looks like his work is done.
2 innings, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, 1 hit batter, 3 strikeouts. Casillas misses with that one, and that evens the count at 1-1. Casillas, 32 years old, from the Dominican Republic. Casillas, even though he's had those 24 saves, blew 5 of 9. And at that point, Bruce Bochy made a switch in late July. So now he's going with matchups in the 9th inning. It might be Javier Lopez against the lefty. It might be Romo, who got the save last night. Could be Affeldt. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Reiner Cruz and Xavier Cedeno are at work for Houston. That's down, apparently. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. Casillas caught a bit of the plate, but Snyder saw that pitch low, and it's now at 2-2 as he gets ready to look this one over very carefully.
Snyder again tonight having a typical Chris Snyder night, seeing a lot of pitches. There's a lot of deep counts. See a hard thrower. We saw that last fastball at 95 miles an hour.
He got a blown save against the Astros in San Francisco July 14th. Came in with a 2-0 lead in the 9th inning, and that one got away from him, but the Giants regrouped to win it in the 12th. He gets a strikeout for out number 1.
Came off that good heater with a breaking pitch at 83.
And strikeout number 9 for Giant pitching tonight. Brandon Crawford is in the number 8 spot in the lineup. He'll be leading off for them in the 9th inning, to be followed by Blanco and Pagan. Gonzalez 1 for 3. This bouncer goes to second. Scudero over to Belt for out number 2. And now it's Barnes with Scott Moore on deck. Barnes drove in the first run with a single in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 3. Astros lost 16 of their last 19 at home. Their record is 40-89. Giants 6-1 against Houston. Trying to keep their lead at 3.5 with a win tonight over the Dodgers. Arias even with a bag at third, and there is strike 1. Cardinals did not score in the final 21 innings of their series with the Pirates. Backhanded Crawford. Very good play to make it a 1-2-3 8th inning with the Giants up 6-4.
George and Joey Harrington will get you ready for kickoff. Then Heisman Trophy frontrunner Matt Barkley and #1 ranked USC take their first step on the road to the national championship as they take on Hawaii. The premier of college football Saturday is this week on Saturday at 6 p.m. Central, only on Fox, guys.
Fox has all that action. And Patty, who would be your pick to win the national championship?
I don't know if I'm qualified to answer that. I'm busy cooking up some dinner.
Sounds good. Well, we'll alternate, and you can cook one day, and I'll cook the next. Xavier's today.
Nice. Nice.
What's your specialty, Brownie?
Probably bacon and eggs. Yeah. That's about it. Cedeno.
I know you. You're the toast guy.
You got it.
I got the toast covered, Diane.
Yeah,
I'm good.
The toast. Yeah. 4.71 ERA for X with 1 save. Coming in here for the 9th inning with Gregor Blanco. And he'll be following Crawford, Blanco. So 2 left-handed hitters and then the switch hitter Pagan for the lefty Cedeno. Crawford's up for the first time. He made a very good play to end the bottom of the inning on Barnes. 243 for Crawford, 4 homers, 40 runs batted in. Taps this one. Cedeno will go to the bag. Here's the toss from Wallace. That was well done for round #1.
Yeah, nicely executed. That play has created some problems lately. Some of those little rollers out there. No man's land between the mound and first base, but a good break by Cedeno. Wally commits to the baseball, and Cedeno continues on to the bag. Sometimes that's all you need to see. If you're the pitcher, you see that first baseman just commit and go to the ball, then you know exactly what you have to do. You got to cover the base.
Gregor Blanco put down a sac bunt back in the 7th inning. Cedeno pitched 2/3 of an inning, giving up 2 hits, no runs at New York in his last appearance 4 days ago. He delivers strike 1. Tampa Bay Rays snapped a 4-game losing streak. They beat the Rangers 8-4 at Rangers Ballpark. It's 1-1.
The Rays had been red hot, and just like that, they fell into a little bit of a funk.
Now they're back to 4 games behind the Yankees.
Evan Longoria hit a couple of home runs. Upton went deep. Johnson went deep.
They beat Matt Harrison, who's 15-8 for Texas.
Beat him up is what they did. 12 hits, 7 earned runs in 5 1/3. 3 long balls. A sweeping breaking ball. Jeff Keppinger 4 out of 5 tonight for the Rays. Dude can hit.
They had him batting cleanup some of the time when Longoria was out.
Zobrist was 3 for 5, 16 hits banged out by the Rays tonight. Moreland went deep. Josh Hamilton hit number 36.
Well, he had that great start. Maybe he's going to wind up with a flurry. Two balls, 2 strikes. The Angels scored early at home against Boston. They lead it 5-1 now in the last of the 3rd inning. Kendrys Morales hit his 17th home run. Angels trying to regroup. They're only 5 games above 500 right now. Looks like it's going to be a long, tough climb for them. That's a strikeout for Cedeno, and it's out number 2.
Still in that wild card chase, though. They're only 4.5 back coming into play tonight. An even better breaking ball there from Cedeno to get the strikeout.
Well, let's see. They've got to have games remaining with Oakland. Oakland's in that second wild card spot right now. So if they can go head to head with Oakland and do a job, they're looking much better, JD.
Yeah, and maybe the team with the advantage and all that is Detroit, or whoever ends up in second place in the Central, either the White Sox or Detroit, because the bottom half of that division a little bit easier to beat.
Now 6-4. Reiner Cruz is coming in. We'll be right back. And some colorful folks up there watching as the Astros bring in Reiner Cruz with 2 outs and nobody on, facing Angel Pagan. Pagan opened the game with a double. He's 1 for 4. Reiner's 1-1 in 44 1/3 innings. And there's strike 1 to Pagan. The Astros have more Altuve and the pitcher spot due up in the bottom of the inning.
Straight cheddar. Threw it right by him.
Cruz is pitcher number 5 for the Astros. Cedeno went 2/3 of an inning, allowing no hits, no runs with a strikeout.
Bullpen's done a nice job tonight.
Story gave up an unearned run. Ambriz 2 hitless innings. Cedeno got both batters he faced. That's kept it close. The Giants had that 4-run first, but then Dallas Keuchel retired 14 in a row.
The Giants have been held to just 2 hits since that first inning.
Oakland down Cleveland 8-4 tonight. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, the A's have really been a good story this year. They're 72-57 now. What was thought to be a very young and rebuilding club, and made that trade. Gio Gonzalez going to Washington, and they've had Tommy Malone, who was involved in that deal, come through in a big way for them.
Yeah, they really pitch well, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
The second best ERA in the American League, trailing only Tampa.
Upstairs, ball 3, 3-2. Kansas City beat Detroit 1-0. Bruce Chen, the winner. He's 10-10.
That guy's amazing,
isn't he, though? When did we have him? About 8 years ago.
Yeah.
We thought he was finished then.
Like he was toast.
Anibal Sanchez took the tough loss. Greg Holland got his 9th save. Detroit is now 69-60. Pagan works the walk with 2 outs. He's aboard for Scudero. Pagan might be running. He has 21 steals and 28 tries. Minnesota bombed Seattle 10-0. Bruce Chen was here in 03, 9 years ago. It is shocking that he's still pitching. There's a diving play by Scott Moore to his right, throwing across on one hop to Wallace, who's able to cradle that ball near his midsection and make it a gem of a 5-3 play at both corners to end the top of the 9th. No runs, no hits, a man left. 6-4 Giants going to the last of the 9th. And Santiago Casilla, who had a 1-2-3 8th inning, is still in the game now for the 9th, giving him a chance at save number 25 of the year. It'll be Scott Moore leading it off. In his first at bat in the 6th inning, he drove in a run with a single. That snapped an 0 for 21 for him. Altuve is on deck. Pitcher spot due up 3rd for Houston. There's strike 1. Washington closed out Miami 8-4. Ross Detweiler going to 8-6 with a win. Bryce Harper hit 2 homers.
Hit 2 homers and then got ejected later in the game.
Oh.
Called out on a bang play at first base. Spiked his helmet and got tossed.
6 wins in a row for the Nationals. With Atlanta losing earlier, that gives Washington a 5-game lead over the Braves now. In the dirt, It's 1-2. Milwaukee down the Cubs at Wrigley 3-1. Tom Fiers won his 8th, beating Jeff Samardzija, who's 8-12. John Axford got his 22nd save. Should be Mike Fiers. Ground ball into center field. And Moore is 2 for 2 off the bench in this game. So now it gets interesting as Altuve comes to the plate. He is 1 for 3 with a walk tonight. Javier Lopez is warming up for the Giants. He's closed out a few games for them recently. Casilla staying in to face Altuve. Jason Castro's in the on-deck circle. There's a shot backhanded. Crawford going to Scooterov. High throw above belt. And that is backed up by the catcher. It stays in play. They get out number 1 from 6-4. But the relay from Scooterov very high. Altuve reaching first.
That would have been a very difficult double play to convert with Altuve going down the line. Pretty play here by Crawford. Second one he's made since coming into the game. Pretty slick on the backhand side. Gets that ball to Scooterov as quickly as possible. But Scooterov trying to hurry to make that turn. Never really got the handle.
Now it's Jason Castro pinch hitting. More force there, and Scooterov up and over.
First, Bruce Bochy waiting for the announcement of the left-handed hitting Castro before he makes his way out to the mound. He's got his third lefty, Lopez, ready to go.
Castro's pinch hitting for Cruz, who in 1/3 of an inning allowed no hits, no runs, with 1 walk, no strikeouts. That's it for Casilla. Lopez being brought in. With potential tying run coming to the plate in Castro in a 6-4 game. We'll be right back. Replacing Santiago Casilla with a runner at first, 1 out in the 9th inning. And the pinch hitter Jason Castro facing a pitcher who's 3-0 with 4 saves and 6 opportunities and a 2.48 ERA.
And he's just chewed up lefties. You see they're just 1 out of their last 25 against the veteran lefty.
Castro 1 for 3 lifetime against this pitcher Lopez. He is 182 against lefties, but he got an RBI double off Lopez earlier this year in San Francisco, June 12th. And they strike 1 to the Stanford man.
Lopez 86 to 88 miles an hour with a fastball slider, a cut fastball that he's come to rely on heavily. and a changeup. He's a ground ball guy. Almost 3 ground balls for every fly ball this year.
Castro got a single and 3 trips last night, also a sacrifice. Counts 1-1. Red Wallace is on deck, so Lopez has at least 2 left-handed batters stacked up to face him if he needs to. It's 1-2. And again, in case you're joining us late, Maxwell and Francisco really are not available to hit in this game, we don't think. And Francisco was in the original starting lineup, was scratched with a wrist problem. Justin Maxwell hasn't hit in a game in about a week with a finger injury. So that's why it's lefty on lefty here. No more right-handed hitters for Tony D. There's a shot. Brandon Belt to Crawford. Back to Bell. And it's a spectacular 3-6-3 double play to end it. Terrific glove work by Belt on a hard hit ball by Castro. And the Giants win at 6-4 to win the first 2 of this series.
Boy, tough luck for Castro. He really hit this ball sharply, and Belt, very nice short hop play, and then starts the 3-6-3 double play. Pretty slick work by the Giants in the infield tonight.
And they win it. The final is 6-4 Giants as Lopez closes it out. The Giants have won the first 2 of this series. They maintain their 3.5 game lead. We'll be right back.